1. It's a brisk, cool evening for CFA CFC football, Sunday night football, and that's brought to you by Aurora, Colorado. Glad you can be here with us on this evening. It's an interleague game of heavyweights, and the matchup are Greyhawks from the CFA, the Colorado Football Alliance, versus the Denver Sharks of the Colorado Football Conference. From last year, both teams are the champions of their respective leagues. Both teams come into this match undefeated within the state of Colorado in 2018. The Sharks did happen to lose in New Mexico against the Titans, and that was an out-of-state game for their championship. And the Greyhawks happened to lose their national championship game to the South Bay Patriots. I'm Sean Boyd here, joined by Josh Ford. Good evening to you.
Good evening. Highly anticipated game. I'm excited, and I'm alongside Sean C. This is going to be a good one. This
is a family thing in here tonight, so we're going to make sure that we can just have the best conversation while these two teams duke it out. Right now we have the coin being tossed, and we're met at center field by the head ref of tonight's matchup. And I do not have his card in front of me at this second. No, I had it. I kept it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to Aurora Public
But we'll continue on here as I go ahead and find that information about the referees.
On the scoreboard, the CFA champion
Now,
Greyhawks.
Josh, you've had a chance to be privy to just some of the back and forth that's taken place between these two teams. What have you seen as far as the anticipation for both of these teams and coming into this heavyweight, big-time matchup between these two teams that have been talking the talk? Who do you look to walk the walk in tonight's game?
Oh, man. Ooh, this is, like I said, it's highly anticipated, and it's a lot of guys out there. Somebody's going to show up
and make a play
who I'm not expecting to. So we're going to see who that is. But just as for the front runners, you got Drew Banks from the Greyhawks. Look for him to make some plays. And I'm looking at the difference maker to be Nate Guillory.
Well, now Nate Guillory is a special story as he has come in for the weekend's game from Houston, Texas. He was a part of the Greyhawks backfield last year, in which he mainly toted the seed. They had a couple other guys that came out and gave great production for the Greyhawks. But him coming back is definitely going to give us a different feel because of the simple fact that the Greyhawks have a running back by committee lineup. They've got Royce Ossie from the Colorado Raptors. He's also in there running back, as well as number 23, Brandon. Oh, I forget his last name. Goodness. But we will have his last name as we get ready for tonight's call. Tonight's matchup is again brought to you by ColoradoSports.TV. Here it is. The Greyhawks elected to kick the ball and will receive the second half kickoff. Brings up the Sharks offense first. And the kick is up. And we're set here from Aurora Public School Stadium as the Sharks get it. He breaks it out to the 30-yard line, and that's where he'll be stopped. And this drive will begin at the 32-yard line of the Denver Sharks.
It's all about energy.
And we're going to get a lot of that tonight. Now, speaking to the starting quarterback of the Denver Sharks, Mr. Smoke. Smoke explained to me that what's going to happen in today's game is he wants to see his team play within themselves. He wants to see them, because they're not the big name, they want to play with heart for tonight's matchup. And Beast Mode, you know about that, how that works. Think about what it takes to get ready for a game like tonight. Highly anticipated, a lot of talk being had between both teams.
The biggest thing is just to stay focused, In games like this, you kind of can, get out of your mode and do things that you didn't practice all week. So it's just stay focused, execute the game plan. That's the key.
There it is. And then we have a penalty on the play, which gets us a false start by the offense. And that's already a penalty that's stacked up against the home team here, Denver Sharks.
Takes the Sharks back 5 yards. Will be first and 15.
First and 15 on the play for the Denver Sharks. So that brings up first and 15 from the 26-yard line for the Denver Sharks. Smokes back the pass, and he just airmails it to the wide receiver, number 28.
An interesting matchup to look out for is Crowder from the Sharks, number 21, and Cox on the Greyhawks, number 14.
Devon Cox has been with both teams in the past 2 years, mainly Colorado Greyhawk for the last few years, and now being that he's been with the Sharks for a year on their undefeated rise, now he's playing against his former team yet again. So he's been playing against his former team 2 years in a row. Let's see what happens here on the second down in 15. Running back just gets through for as many as he can. Looks like we have number 4 on the carry for the Denver Sharks here. Looking over their roster, that would be the carry was by number 4. And we do not have, Cornelius Sanders. Brings us to 3rd and 12 on the play here from the 30-yard line. Smokes in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to the right. He makes a pass. He completes it. And the Greyhawks are there. Swarm 3 guys to the ball for about a 7-yard gain, and it will be 4th down.
Great catch. Great hit by Cox. Great play.
And now we have the punting team coming out here for the Denver Sharks.
And like I talk about, it comes down to energy,
Well, now for the first drive here, we've seen that the Sharks had just a little bit of energy to get things going. Juwan McFly did what he could to get some yards and get something established on that drive instead of just going a flat 3 and out with no gain on the play.
Right.
So now we have about 4th and 4, and the Sharks are set to punt. Back to receive the punt here is Steven Mamuzic and the big house, Seti Muaga. Let's see what happens here as Steffi is used to taking plays to the house on a regular basis. And here we go.
And, uh-oh.
He's to the 50.
Uh-oh.
He brings it back. He bounces off of another player, and he's brought down around the 24-yard line in Shark territory. And this is a good start that the Greyhawks were looking for to get the momentum on their side.
And that's what I'm talking about right there. Great play. Special teams matter.
They always matter.
Change the game.
Yeah, you know what? There's 3 phases of a game, J-Mode, and the first one is you got to be able to win special teams. It's easy to win on offense. It's easy to do a little something on defense, but when the special teams is needed, it's big plays like that are going to set Drew Banks up. Starting from right to left here on the offensive line, who's starting for the Colorado Greyhawks, we have John West at left tackle. And after the play, we'll finish the rest of the lineup. Julian Banks hands it off to his big running back, Royce Ossie, and he gets about 6 yards on the play, brings up a modest 2nd and 4 from about the 16-yard line of the Sharks. What a big run.
And what I like about that play was just hard-nosed.
Power, right up
power. A lot of people don't understand. Every play is not going to be a home run play.
That's right.
It's about getting those yards just like that.
That's right. And so now that brings us to 2nd down. Aside John West is Mario Gomez, center Edgar Sotelo. Julian Banks at quarterback. He hands it off again to Royce Ossie. And Royce just falls forward for about a 2-yard gain before he's brought down on the play by the Sharks defense.
And shout out to the Sharks defense for not backing down.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm speaking about the Sharks defense. If I could get just a lineup here for these guys, I'll be able to tell you. But on the play here, we're going to go off of the numbers just for now until I can get the active roster that will have what I need as far as the players are concerned. And if you're a Sharks faithful here, I do apologize. Looks like the Sharks just gave up a 1st down on 3rd and 3. Oh, false start against the Colorado Greyhawks. And look, Julian Banks is already sending a player out of the game because he is not focused to get things started here. Remnants of 2016.
Can't have those mistakes.
Well, the early mistakes are getting the kinks out, And you can't have those mistakes at wide receiver for sure, Josh, because what will happen is, you just kill a drive and you just push your team back further from being able to get some momentum and traction going. Seti Mwaga is our right tackle. Aside him is number 66, wide receivers Aramis Robinson, Devontae Hill, Stephen Mamuzic, and Raquan Southward. Julian Banks is back to pass. He's looking left. He slings it to the flats, and Stephen Mamuzic makes the catch and is brought down right away. So he gets about 7 yards on the catch, on the passing catch, and we are still at 4th down. And so the clock continues here. 10 minutes and 52 seconds left here in the first quarter.
What I liked about that last play is I saw guys running to the ball.
Yeah, flying to the ball. The Sharks have to fly to the ball.
This is a game of inches.
That's right.
4th down.
I agree with you there, buddy. Now, fourth down on the play. We've got 4th and 1. Greyhawks come in their traditional 4-wide set. Julian Banks is in shotgun. 10 minutes still left here in the first quarter. Scores tied 0-0.
Big play right here.
And he hands it off up the middle, and they just power forward and get the first down.
Great play. Great play. Hard nose. Great push by the O-line.
And they're back on the ball here, so the Greyhawks are wasting no time as they want to get something going. Still tied at 0-0, 10 minutes left here. Julian Banks is making adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Julian Banks slings out to the pass, but it's a little high. He airmails it to the sideline, and nobody's home. Looks like that was intended for Aramis Robinson in the nice Odell Beckham red and lime green lace cleats.
I like those.
Yeah, it's a good look when you're wearing all white. We have the Sharks in their turquoise home field new uniforms, and the Colorado Greyhawks come in their all white uniforms with the Greyhawk accents.
I think
Greyhawk yellow accents.
The uniforms make a difference.
Yeah.
Like Deion Sanders said,
You
look
play
good, play good.
Yeah, most definitely.
The Sharks have definitely leveled up.
From last year's uniforms. Facts. And so here we go. We have trips on the play here. Trips left for Julian Banks. He sends a man in motion. Fakes left. He's got a man running wide open. As the Sharks give pressure. Oh, he lets him out of the pocket. He still gets it away, and it's smacked down at the line of scrimmage. What a defensive play by the Sharks.
Great defense by the Sharks. Not giving up. Guys running to the ball. Banks was able to elude a couple guys, but the pressure was just too much.
Absolutely.
Great play by the Sharks by not giving up. Great play by the corner, staying disciplined.
Yes, and you need that when your defense to contain breaks down a little bit. So that was big for the Sharks there to get that stop. Still knotted at 0-0 with 9 minutes and 46 seconds left here in the first quarter from Aurora Public School Stadium. The Greyhawks are on 3rd and goal inside the 10-yard line of the Denver Sharks.
Big play right here.
Julian Banks back to pass. He fakes it. Oh, he gets pressure and jukes out the defensive lineman, number 9. He sends a rocket, and it's almost picked off. It was intended for Raquan Southward, and the defense stood up and said, no way, Jose. Get that crap out of here.
Great job by the defense. Staying disciplined.
That was huge.
That's huge.
That was huge, Beast Mode. And so now that brings up 4th down on the play. What do we know?
We know Ju Banks, he's a playmaker. But shout out to the Sharks for staying disciplined.
Absolutely, and they're going to need a lot of that this evening. This is the first time in a long time that you will see the Colorado Greyhawks go for a field goal. And Mr. Steiner, Alex Steiner, is our kicker for the Colorado Greyhawks. I wanted to get the number of the defensive player for the Sharks that made that beautiful break on the ball and almost picked it off there, but I missed it. Where's the instant replay when you need it?
That was a big-time play.
Oh, if he would have made the interception, now that would have been the big-time play. Kick is up. And it's good. Alex Steiner lands the Greyhawks with a 3-point lead over the Denver Sharks here from Aurora Public School Stadium. With 9 minutes and 34 seconds left, that brings us here with our first break in the game here on ColoradoSports.TV.
So I'm hearing a coach
And welcome back here to Aurora Public School Stadium here on ColoradoSports.TV. We appreciate you for tuning in for tonight's matchup between the Colorado Greyhawks and the Denver Sharks, the home team, Denver Sharks. I am Sean Boyd, and I am alongside Joshua Beast Mode Ford.
I'm happy to be here. We got a great one.
So far, to recap, the last drive the Greyhawks got down into Shark territory, but were only able to come away with 3 points. The kick is up, and it's out to the Sharks, and he's ready to return. They got a few blocks, and again, they're starting out just like they did the last drive, out to about the 30-yard line. Was the return by number the chrome numbers on the Sharks jerseys are a little bit hard to read from here in the booth, but we'll still give you the call when we see his name and number here in just a few seconds. Number 10 of the Denver Sharks here. Number 10 of the Sharks would be, and their names are in no order here, numerical order. I don't see it. Well, that brings us to 1st and 10 on the play. Number 10 is Devontae Wheaton. Please excuse us, the cornerback. So it brings us to 1st and 10 here from the 30-yard line for the Denver Sharks. Smoke gives it up to Justin Depew, and he just bangs forth for a few yards on the play, and he's brought down by the infamous Bobby Purify. Still ticking.
Bobby Purify. At defensive end?
Yeah.
Wow.
New look Colorado Greyhawks.
Wow. Big time play. Some more guys to look out for on the Sharks. Paul Dupree.
Yes.
Travis Greer.
Yes. I'm really looking forward to seeing the matchup between Greer and the Greyhawks because he is a big-time player for the Greyhawks. I mean, for the Sharks. He's been a big-time player around the state of Colorado for years now, so it's going to be interesting. Devon Cox is up in a press formation as he's already beat deep. Duran was right there, but he couldn't reach for the ball. Oh, that's Crowder, excuse me. Crowder was there, open, but Smoke just air-melded to him. Juwan air-melded to Mr. Marcus Crowder. Brings up 3rd down and a long 9. Like you're out on the golf course. Greyhawks come out in a 3-down lineman, 2 stand-up DNs, 2 down linemen and 2 stand-up DNs, 2 linebackers, and 5 DBs. Smoke's back to pass. He looks to run. He's getting pressure up the middle, and then he is just swallowed up by that defense. Brandon Helperin makes the big-time play, and that brings up 4th down for the Denver Sharks, and now they've got to punt back to the Greyhawks.
Sean C., you want to know what I loved when I played at the University of Colorado
when
I played professionally?
Yes, we do.
I loved receivers who blocked.
Yes, for you.
Not just looked for the ball, but blocked.
Yes, and that's going to be a key in tonight's matchup. Listen, there's a lot of things that the Sharks have to do right tonight in order for them to have a good game.
Smoked could have had the 1st down.
If he got a block.
If he got a block.
So if was a 5th, we all beat you know what. So now with that being said, the Sharks are on 4th and 6 here with 7 minutes and 46 seconds and counting here in the first quarter. The Greyhawks have a lead of 3-0 over the hometown Denver Sharks. The punt's back, and it's up. And he gets a good one out there, and as it bounces, Steven Mamuzic says, I'm still going to take it, and gets what he can, gets out to about the 30-yard line before he's just forced out of bounds. And now we have the second drive here for the Colorado Greyhawks. Our referees for tonight's game. The referee is Alan Brandt. Center judge Keith Clements. The umpire is Andrew Landry. Head line judge Ashley Miller. Line judge Bobby Allaby. Field judge Hank Carey. Side judge Ryan Burrell. Back judge Andrew Wims. First and 10 for the Greyhawks, still in their 4-wide formation. Julian Banks in the shotgun. He hands it off. New running back in the game is brought down for about a 2-yard gain, And that is number 23. Oh, no, that is still Royce Ossie on the carry.
I talked to Julian Banks earlier, pregame,
Yes.
and he said one of the key factors to winning this game was keeping our composure and doing what we practice.
And, well, they practice a lot of not keeping composure. These guys love to fight each other in practice just because it's such a competition between them all. And I believe that breeds great play when it comes to game day. Julian Banks is back to pass. He's looking for a guy in the flat. He finds him, but he's just a little too high as the defensive back came toward him and came off of the wide receiver, Aramis Robinson. Good play by number 1 of the Sharks, Travis Greer. No, that's number 3. Go ahead, B-Smoke.
Good play by number 3, but I will say, growing up, all we knew was if you touch the ball, catch it. Not every ball is going to be perfect. You got to make plays, and that's what makes you special.
Yes.
And that's what I want to see tonight. Receivers, just make a play. Not every ball is going to be perfect. Let's see what you can do.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you say that. It's just hard when the game doesn't come easy to anybody. It's a game of inches, and you're gonna have to try your best. Here it is. He's wide open up the middle. It's Aramis Robinson. Julian Banks hits him
Now that's what I'm talking about.
for a big-time first down, and he lets the fans know that he picks up the first down. That's Aramis Robinson on the catch here for a Greyhawks first down as they get across the 50 here in the middle of the field with 6 minutes and 32 seconds left here in the first quarter at Aurora Public School Stadium.
Great play by Aramis. Great catch.
Big-time catch. Right up the middle. The middle of the field is wide open. They have one safety in the back which closes the middle for the Sharks. Royce Ossie takes the handoff, gets another 6 yards before he's brought down on the carry, which brings us to 2nd and 4 for the Greyhawks. Sharks defense is looking stout. They're just giving up some runs, that's all. Nothing too much. See if they can get another big-time stop here and get off the field.
See who wants to make a play.
Somebody's got to want to make a play, Beast Mode. Runs to Ossie. He cuts it up, gets the first down, and is out to the 27-yard line of the Denver Sharks. Now, speaking from a running back standpoint, Josh, what did you see there?
I saw a great run. He hit it. He wasn't dancing around. He wasn't playing. And he made it happen. Sometimes that's what you got to do. A lot of guys want to dance. He just made it happen. Great run.
Royce Ossie looks like he's wasting no time getting to his spot on the field. That's Royce Ossie. Royce Ossie up the middle yet again for another 7-yard run, and we've got a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be a holding penalty against the offense here, which is going to bring the Colorado Greyhawks back.
And like I said earlier, he just hits the hole. Dirty yards. Not every play is going to be a home run. But you just keep pounding, it's going to open.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Didn't tiptoe or anything. He just hit it. I like that.
Well, he's a bigger guy at running back. About a 6-footer. He's 230 pounds at least, and he wastes no time in the hole. Now, the Sharks got a break here, so now that brings us to first, and that was a unsportsmanlike or a clipping penalty on the Greyhawks, which brings them back. So we've got about first and a mile here, 1st and 20. Julian Banks is still in the shotgun. He takes the handoff. He fakes it. He's got a man deep, Rook on. And he catches it and is brought down at the 8-yard line after the deep ball from Julian Banks. He makes a play. He comes back and makes his quarterback look good, and that's what's important.
Sean C., and that's what I'm talking about right there. The safety was clearly coming over. Receiver still caught the ball, made the play.
Made a play. That's what we need. That's exactly what we want to see, at least, from both teams today here on this call. Now we got to see if the Sharks can get some of this same momentum, because it's been easy for the Greyhawks to get down to the red zone area. See if the Sharks can get another defensive stop here. Royce Ossie gets the handoff. Oh, that's Nate Guillory on the handoff. Back from Houston, Texas, and now he's here to do his dance and get into the end zone. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Sharks are crowding the line of scrimmage. Xavier Galligan is in the middle, him and Tyler Brown beasting. The corners are pressed for the Sharks. Greyhawks make an adjustment at the line of scrimmage.
Looks like it's going to be a QB sneak.
Oh, you're absolutely correct, Josh Romo. As now, Julian Banks keeps it and just gets about 1 yard on the play, and it brings us to third down. 3 minutes and 5 seconds left here in the first quarter, and our score is at 3-0. The Colorado Greyhawks ahead.
Great stop by the Denver Sharks.
Most definitely.
Great stop.
The Sharks have gotten – I want to speak about how the Sharks have stood up in the red zone twice now. Now, if they get a stop here, that's going to be huge.
That's huge.
So we have 3rd and 3 yards here for the Colorado Greyhawks. Sharks are in their stout defense. Big boys up front. All the fat daddies in there.
Uh-oh.
Banks is under center. He hands it off to Royce Ossie, and he is stopped.
What?
And then we may have a face mask on the play here.
I seen one ref.
Uh-oh, and then it looks like it may be against the Greyhawks, as Xavier Galligan is pointing as if it's against them, and he better keep his helmet on, as that can get him an unsportsmanlike penalty and give the Greyhawks a fresh set.
Let's see what the refs discuss.
And so we have a hands to the face after the touchdown is scored. And now we have now got a first touchdown of the game by Royce Ossie of the Colorado Greyhawks.
Great effort by Ossie. Initially he was stopped.
Just stuck it out there, man. Got the ball across and he put it in the end zone. That's what we need.
Great play.
Sharks, now that would have been a great time for the Sharks to maybe pop that ball out of there and get a turnover, and then that would have really shook things up. That's the Sharks lineup right there, or the roster of the Denver Sharks. So now we have a roster here that's going to help us be able to deliver this call for you just a tad bit better. We want to tell you thank you for tuning in here on ColoradoSports.TV. Thank you in parts to Scott Sledgister, the producer of ColoradoSports.TV, that has us here on the call, working to deliver this beautiful game to you this evening. The Greyhawks have a 10-0 lead here over the Denver Sharks with 2 minutes and 21 seconds left here in the first quarter. Sharks are taking their third drive of the game. Now, with the penalty to the hands to the face from last drive for the Greyhawks, they will be kicking off from the 50-yard line here, Josh.
Yeah, those penalties hurt. Have to stay disciplined.
Yes. And the Sharks don't want to get out of themselves, as they're not out of this game yet.
Not at all. The biggest key is for them to stay together and keep fighting.
Well, that's going to be a key. That's going to be a key element for the Sharks here today, and I want to see that happen, as this is going to be a big game for both teams, a heavyweight championship of all proportions. This is an interleague matchup between both state championships from a year ago, from both the leagues here. So this can't get any bigger of a game in semi-pro football in Colorado. The kick is up by Steiner. A pop fly.
Make a play.
Sharks have numbers, and he breaks down before he's ran out of bounds.
One of the biggest things my coach, Eric Bieniemy, used to tell me was, it's not what happens, it's how you respond.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see how the Sharks respond on this play.
That's going to be huge as the Sharks are now on their third series, and they haven't necessarily completed but one pass.
I believe.
So they've completed one pass, and they've gotten 2 plays where they've gotten some positive yards. That's going to be hard to get over the hump.
Let's see what they come up with right here. It's all about making adjustments.
It's all about how you react, as you said before. Shout outs to Coach Bieniemy for those jewels right there will take everybody far and far, because you have to be able to respond in life when things don't go your way. So 1st and 10 here for the Denver Sharks here from the 23-yard line. Sharks hand it off. They've got numbers.
There we go.
Big time run. Oh, and that's a horse collar tackle.
Yes, that's a horse collar for sure.
Very undisciplined by Daniel Ramsey on the play after the big time run by the running back, and I can't see his number from here. And so we have the horse collar tackle after the big-time run, which is going to add another 15 yards on the play. Look at that hole that was there, Josh, for the Sharks when he took off on that run. That was huge.
Great blocking by the offensive line on the Denver Sharks.
Yes, yes.
Great push. Wayne not back down.
Brings us to 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Oh, gosh, things are turning around here for the Denver Sharks. He hikes the ball, 32, takes it, fights for a few yards before he's brought down on the play by the defensive lineman, Arthur Humphreys. So we have second and 10, as he didn't get any yards on the play.
And I do believe that Travis Greer is in the game.
Here we go. This is the matchup that we've been waiting for. He's up at the top versus the speedster and big guy himself. And it's caught for no gain, and he's stopped on the play by Marcellus.
Great stop.
Marcel Tyler on the stop. Playing both the wide receiver, Travis Greer, and then getting off of the big time, because Greer was blocking for him. Mm-hmm. He just got through the play there. It got through Greer and still went and forced the wide receiver to go out of bounds.
Great playing, way to stay disciplined.
That's contained.
Everybody, we're all looking for Greer. He didn't follow Greer. He stayed disciplined. Mm-hmm. Made a great play.
That's going to be huge. Here we go. 3rd and 11 on the play here from about the 48-yard line. Sharks backing up. Smoke is back to pass. He lets it go. Nobody's home, and it's intercepted.
Interception
By Jawanta Giles. And he just takes it back out to about the 49-yard line and looks at the Sharks as if to say, did you mean to throw that to me?
Great defensive play.
And now the Greyhawks come out back with their offense, looking to establish a little bit more momentum and put more points on the board, as there's only 8.3 seconds left here in the first quarter. Our score after the turnover is still 10-0 Greyhawks.
Sean C., I'm seeing something that I haven't seen all day.
I'm listening.
The Denver Sharks sideline is absolutely
quiet. Yeah, absolutely. Before the game, they were very hyped and into the matchup and saying, look, we're going to let them do all the talking. We're going to let all of our pads do the talking. Well, now it's time for them to react a little bit, as things have not gone their way just yet. And so let's see if the Sharks have what it takes to bounce back after the turnover. Stephen Mamouche is in motion. Same play again. They hand the ball off to Royce Ossie. He gets about 4 yards on the play before he's brought down by Xavier Galligan and Tyler Brown. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter here from Aurora Public Schools Stadium, as the score rests at 10 Greyhawks and the Denver Sharks 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just A reminder that if you do not have the proper
And
credentials around your neck to be on the sideline or on the track,
we're back after the short break at the end of the first quarter. Again, our score is 10-0. Greyhawks ahead. We now start the second quarter here from Aurora Public School Stadium. Ball 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 5, or 2nd and 6 from the 46-yard line as Julian Banks makes an adjustment at the line of scrimmage. Two wide receivers to the left and the right. He hands it off to Royce Ossie. He bounces up the middle because he had a big hole, and then he just runs through.
Great run.
Slices through the defense of the Sharks and gets a big-time first down.
Great run.
What about that run was great?
Just way to hit it.
Now, from a running back, I really respect your expertise on these things. What did you see there?
What I saw was he made a play, he hit the outside, and when he got into the secondary, he gave a little stiffy, a little stiff arm, but just running hard. You know, I hate the tiptoes. Just run hard. And that's what he did. He hit the angle, he followed his alignment, and he did his assignment.
Now, the running backs are taught to follow the blocks. There's a lot of blocks out there for him as well. As Royce Ossie gets another one, Seti Muaga is pushing up to the second level looking for anybody to crush, and there's nobody in sight as the defensive back for the Sharks was running away from number 44, the hitman.
And Sean C., what you said was he got a lot of blocks on that last play, and I agree with you. And that's why earlier I stated that I like the receivers who block because that really makes a difference. Everybody just doing their job.
That's right.
Flows perfectly.
That's right. Now, I got the chance to speak with Coach Sandman of the Denver Sharks, and he said that he wants to establish putting the Greyhawks on their heels as the Greyhawks have the big name as the Box State Bullies, and they want to take their piece of the pie. Sharks get a little bit of pressure. Julian Banks scrambles out. He's got space as he gets about a new first down on the play, 8-yard carry, and now that's a fresh set of down for Julian Banks and the Greyhawks as they're now in the red zone of the Denver Sharks.
Great play.
Yep.
Way to make a play.
Now, the play broke down clearly. There wasn't anything there, and Julian Banks just makes a play there, scrambles and gets 8 yards and pushes forward for another first down. Not yet just in goal line, but they're in the red zone. It's money time. Julian hands it off. Royce Ossie, he scampers, gives a little two-step, and gets what he can, about another 6 yards or 7 yards before he's brought down. Now, the Denver Sharks have yet to be able to stop this run of the Colorado Greyhawks.
Just keep pounding. Keep pounding.
Brings up 2nd and 3 for the Colorado Greyhawks. Julian Banks hands it off again. Royce Ossie walks in for a touchdown, and that is the second touchdown of the game for the Colorado Greyhawks. And the Sharks are in dismay on their sideline as they feel like somebody is not doing their job.
And if I'm the coach for the Sharks, I'm bringing my team together and I'm giving them a talk. Hey, we are not out of this game.
Yes.
Get the momentum up and just tell everybody do their job. We're not out of this game. Keep fighting, keep pushing.
So it looks like we have a penalty on the play, a legal substitution by the Greyhawks. Ramis Robinson is the holder on the extra point, and Alex Steiner is our kicker for the Greyhawks. The Denver Sharks, they come into tonight's matchup with their full roster ready to play. They need to keep their composure. As you stated, Josh, they're not out of this game by any means, and I'd love to see them come back and make this a game. The kick is up, and it's good as the kicker for the Greyhawks is smacked.
Extra point is
And Sean C., who is the kicker for the Greyhawks?
Alex Steiner.
Alex Steiner. I want to give a shout out to him.
Well, I mean, before last year, the Colorado Greyhawks had no real kicker, and so what ended up happening is that they went for extra point. Their extra point was a 2-point conversion on almost every game practically. Set to return for the Sharks is number 21. And now the Greyhawks will be kicking again with the penalty yards tacked on to the kickoff. So this is now 3 times in a row where you have seen the Denver Sharks playing from behind because their down and distance is not what it's not been in their favor. Two times they're receiving the ball with the ball being kicked from almost the 50-yard line.
Special teams is huge.
Well, that penalty on special teams there is pretty much what did it for him. This is twice that's happened. And so, again, you can't control what happens. How do you respond?
And speaking of responding, let's see how the Denver Sharks respond. Because as we said, they're not out of it. Let's see.
Alex Steiner set the kick, and it's up. Number 21 takes the kick. He gets it out past the 30. Remnants of their last couple of drives here that start for the Denver Sharks. Big-time return. Number 17. 17 is Michael Richardson, a.k.a. Flash. Still a lot of people here in the stands as we've got people from fans from both sides here to support here for tonight's matchup between the Denver Sharks and the Colorado Greyhawks.
This is a nice-sized crowd, Sean C.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 on the play for the Sharks. From the 33-yard line, Smoke hands it off. He makes a juke, but instead of getting north, he gets south and is swallowed up by that Greyhawks defense. Arthur Humphreys with the stop. Gets about 2 yards on the play and brings up to 2nd and 8.
You got to hit it. You got to run. Not every play is going to be a home run hit. Just get the yards.
He had yards if he would have stayed north and south.
But I understand it gets frustrating, but you have to stay disciplined and just hit the hole.
Still here with 11 minutes and 51 seconds here in the second quarter. Our score, 17 for the Greyhawks, 0 for the Denver Sharks. We've got Travis Greer down at the bottom here, matched up against Juwanta Giles. Smoke's got 2 wide receivers to the right, running backs to the right and the left. He drops back to pass. It's tipped and almost intercepted by pink gloves wearing David Ramsey of the Colorado Greyhawks. And the Greyhawks are doing push-ups because, respectively, they all should have had an interception there.
And this is a huge 3rd down coming up.
3rd down and 8. We want to see what the Sharks can muster up here, possibly get themselves out of this predicament that they're in because they're in a huge jam.
I think that Smoke, the quarterback for the Denver Sharks, needs to use his feet. He's a great runner. He can make plays, similar to Jew Banks, even though Jew is.
Smoke back to pass. He's looking for his big wide receiver, Juwanta Giles, but he's locked up on the play, looking to the referee as if maybe there might have been a little bit of contact that nobody's seen. And that brings up 4th down And that's another 3 and out here for the Denver Sharks.
And as I was saying, Smoke has to use his feet and extend the play.
Yes, because that's what's going to help them stay alive in this game. Obviously, the Greyhawks are going to bring immense pressure. But if he can be able to get outside the pocket and get north and south, that could be great and for his offense to help them get over the hump here, because right now they are stuck on the hump. Now we have a break in the action. Looks like we may have a timeout.
Timeout called by
Denver
the
Sharks.
Greyhawks.
Oh, it was timeout by the Greyhawks.
11:23 to go in the second quarter.
So we have 11 minutes and 23 seconds left here
0.
in the second quarter. Greyhawks still holding on to the lead of 17-0 over the Denver Sharks. All right, we're back here. Roar Public School Stadium. The stands are getting more filled as people are here to see this heavyweight match between Colorado Greyhawks and the Denver Sharks, the home team. Denver Sharks are on 4th and 8. They will be punting from their 38-yard line. Stephen Mamouze is back to receive the punt, and the Greyhawks get back there and nearly block it. It's a short kick, and it rolls back and not in the favor of the Sharks. It's down at the 45-yard line. Julian Banks and the offense come back out for their third drive.
The biggest thing for the Sharks, they have to keep fighting. They have to.
Yes. This is going to be a testament to who the Sharks are, to see if they have what it takes to keep fighting when adversity hits, because clear adversity hits as they're down 17 points. They just gave the ball back to the Greyhawks, and now the Greyhawks are almost on the other side of the 50 here, which will put them in Sharks territory, and that could get dangerous. Julian Banks is in a shotgun formation with 2 wide receivers to the right and the left. He gives the ball off to the running back, number 23. He gets about 1 yard before he's stopped on the play by number, turn around, let me see that number, 56. And 52, Jesus Alvarez. He's calling the shots out there for the defensive
And that was a great stop, great tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Ju Banks in the shotgun.
Yep. And here we go. Julian Banks is back to pass. He fakes it to the slot, but still ends up throwing it to him. He has a Ramis Robinson, and he just gets a nice 12-yard gain on the play and brings it past the 50-yard line out to the 44, the 43-yard line of the Sharks. Well, buddy, this is not looking good here, as the Sharks are already down 17 points, and they're looking like the Greyhawks are just going to march it on down and score another one on them. Julian Banks is back in the shotgun still.
The Sharks need somebody to make a play.
He catches Stephen Mamouze across the middle. They're looking, and it looks like he's fast enough to get there, but he is brought down at the 8-yard line.
Great play. And I talked to Coach Sam before the game, and he said that's one of the guys to look out for.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Stephen Mamouze is a game breaker. He's been a game breaker, and that's probably not going to stop until he stops playing.
And when I looked at him after he pointed him out, quiet.
Doesn't say a lot. Oh, he says a lot to me. He's always texting my phone with that. You know what, I'm a dude. He likes that. He likes to talk to me about it.
Well, he's backing it up.
Yeah, he always does. He always does. And that's the thing you like. You like a guy who's quiet about his business and goes about it the right way.
Timeout on the field called by the Sharks.
And so we have a timeout by the Sharks. And we'll go to break here from Aurora Public School Stadium with the score 17-0, Colorado Greyhawks. Yep. Back to the action here. Aurora Public School Stadium as the Colorado Greyhawks are facing off against the Denver Sharks here. Score still 17-0 as the Greyhawks are threatening. And in the red zone, Julian Banks has 2 wide receivers stacked to the right and the left. 1 running back in the backfield, Mr. Royce Ossie.
The Sharks need this stop.
Royce Ossie gets the pitch. He's looking for a little bit of room. And the Sharks just collapse on him and bend him all up.
And that was a huge stop.
And that looked like it hurt.
Great effort by the Sharks.
Oh, definitely. The Sharks got to get some momentum here. They've made plays in this game that have had them in this game. Unfortunately, the Greyhawks have just made better plays of their opportunities.
And the Sharks' D-line is not bad.
No, they've been in this game from start to
They
finish.
have.
It's the thing is that when you see Royce Ossie getting 6 to 7 yards per carry, per clip, that's hard to sustain for a full game. The Greyhawks are doing merely what they do best, and that's just wear on you. The more the game lays on you, they just wear on you. They've gone to their big formation, got Arthur Humphreys and Bobby Purify in.
Even Seti.
And Seti. Yep.
But another great stop.
by the Sharks. Big-time play, Xavier Galligan playing against his old team, letting them know, I'm here, you smell me.
And that's just showing heart, as you alluded to earlier.
Yep. Big-time play. You got to have heart. The quarterback of the Denver Sharks, Smoke, explained to me, he says, we have to come with heart versus the big names. We don't want to try to make plays that are not in our realm. We want to make our plays. We want to do what we do best. So that brings us to 3rd and goal here for the Colorado Greyhawks. Julian Banks is in the shotgun formation. He drops back to pass. He almost is sacked, and he eludes it and gets about 4 yards before he's brought out of bounds, ran out of bounds. Unbelievable. So that brings us to 4th down with 7 minutes and 28 seconds left on the clock.
Julian Banks is special.
I mean, you think you have him, and then the next minute he just blurs right past you, and you got nothing. He gone.
Sean C., who would you compare Julian Banks to?
In the modern day, I would give Julian Banks a Lamar Jackson type of feel. Lamar Jackson may be a more accurate passer just because he's more polished than Julian Banks obviously is. But Julian has the ability in any given play to be able to break out and elude the defensive linemen that are trying to bring him down.
I agree. That's what I was going to say.
The kick is up, and it's blocked by the Sharks. It's picked up. What a stop by the Denver Sharks on the play. The kick, the field goal attempt by the Colorado Greyhawks is dubbed as they are snubbed and get no points there. This is the momentum changer that the Sharks are looking for here at Beast Mode.
And earlier, I heard you say Josh Romo.
Mm-hmm.
But you were more Romo because you talked about heart earlier.
Well, you called the play. That's the reason why I give you the Romo, because I haven't called out any plays yet before it happened.
You called that out, the heart. The Denver Sharks just not backing down, not taking anything for granted.
Yep, you got to maximize every potential play out there. And if you don't, then you won't, and the other team will capitalize. The Greyhawks, I look at them as similar to the Patriots when I say – you make mistakes with them, you don't need to give them anything. Don't make any mistakes and make it easier for them.
Exactly.
Make them work for everything. Make them sweat, put pressure on them, and make guys have to stand up and make plays because essentially they're all human.
Yes.
So they put their pads on exactly just how the Sharks do. Okay, guys that have normal lives. The Greyhawks do not practice any more than the Sharks do. So this is an evenly matched game here in which the Sharks just have to put their best effort out on the field for us to see tonight.
And according to all the trash talk on the internet that these guys have been doing, no excuses.
Yeah.
Go make it happen. You have to go back it up.
Hey, the beef is real. So if you don't happen to fulfill your piece of it, then you'll just be talked about when these guys take to the internet later on this evening.
Yeah, tonight's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a good night. Get your popcorn, folks. Don't watch Game of Thrones, okay? Don't go to your Game of Thrones parties tonight. Tune in to the Colorado Football Talk. Oh, man. So we've got 1st and 10 for the Sharks here, but we've got a little bit of a break in the action as we're trying to sort out the bodies, figure out who's going where. And let's get back to playing some football, gentlemen. It's time. Now our head referee here, Alan Bryan, is on the Sharks sideline.
Sean C., is that?
Who are we looking at?
I'm looking at Drew Banks. It looks
playing
like
defense. He's playing safety.
Okay.
So you get a couple of different looks from the Greyhawks after they feel that the game is kind of in hand, essentially. They will start to change things up a little bit, and you'll see Julian do different things. Why I say? Because Raymond Roundtree from Overland High School is in the building tonight and will be playing quarterback next for the Colorado Greyhawks.
Oh, I'm excited. I am excited.
Raymond Roundtree is about a 6'1", 6'2", 185 quarterback, but the kid can throw. I heard he threw for over 4,000 yards at Overland in his senior year. So that's the beauty of the Greyhawks is they can change things up at any given point in time. Oh, no, wait a minute. We were fooled. There was a penalty on the play, which gives the ball back to the Greyhawks. Unbelievable.
Wow. I was wondering.
What in the world? So here it is, folks. I give you this long soliloquy about what the Greyhawks do and how they can change things up and run with Raymond Roundtree, and yet the Greyhawks got the ball back after the block kick. It's weird that they did that because we didn't see a penalty on the play after the kick was blocked. So
it's a first down.
First down, Greyhawks, 1st and goal from about the 4-yard line. Julian Banks is in the shotgun, 2 wide receivers to the right and the left. Nate Guillory in the backfield. Nate Guillory gets the handoff, and he's stopped and stalemated by the Sharks defense for no yards on the play.
Once again.
Sharks getting pressure and saying, oh, no, baby, not tonight.
Drew Banks making adjustments.
As always, trying to get his Tom Brady on. Here we go. 2nd and 3 as you hear the crowd with the Nat sound cheering for the defense to get a stop. Julian Banks back to pass. Containment breaks down yet again, and he just outrun everybody to the corner pylon, and he's in for 6. 23-0 Greyhawks.
Drew Banks.
Drew Banks does it again.
I thought he was sacked.
And he gets
Defense,
out of there yet again.
Great pressure, and he just made a great play.
Folks, Julian Banks is known to pull the Houdini. You see him 1 second, and then the next you just miss him, outright whiff him. Sharks defense thought they had a line on him, but this talks about the containment that we were speaking about, Josh. They've got to find a way to contain the edges. Until that happens, Julian Banks will be able to do that all night long. And, folks, it's getting ready to get ugly fast. The kick is up, and we've got to stop.
And I know from my playing days, that's just deflating.
Yeah.
Put up a good stop, blocked field goal, and then that play happens.
Luckily, in my playing days, I haven't been on the side of getting blown out. So I don't know what that necessarily feels like, but I tell you what, when you start seeing guys put up points and you just figure out a way that you just figure out that there's no way for you to stop them. Well, essentially, it's just going to break you. And now we've got another penalty. Looks like it may be another false start.
Let's see what we got.
And so we're going to replay the down, but it's a false start on the offense and backing them up 5 yards. Everybody stood up and went, but the center, he didn't hike the ball. Unbelievable. How does that work, Beast Mode?
I think he was nervous. Don't want to mess this one up.
The kick is up, and it's blocked yet again. Can they pick it up and score it? And no, they cannot, but that brings us to the score of 23-0. Colorado Greyhawks with 6 minutes and 12 seconds here left in the second quarter. The Denver Sharks need something to go their way here as they have fell into a big hole down 23.
Playmakers need to make plays.
Yeah. Well,
It's that simple.
I spoke with the Sharks head coach, Sandman, again. We have numbers of players here that are ready to make an impact that just haven't had the opportunity to do so.
You got a lot of players. You got Jordan Williams,
Noah Wells, number 20.
Travis Greer,
Number 1.
D. Haven. He plays running back, number 48.
Number 48.
Paul DePriest.
And Crowder, number 21.
And Crowder.
Well, we'll just see what happens here.
Somebody needs to step up and make a play. You don't need permission to be great, Sean C.
No, you don't.
You don't need permission to be great.
No,
Just
you
go
don't.
make it happen.
When the coach doesn't say, hey, you know what? Ask me before you go do something great. Coach is like, go out there and get something done for me, please.
Go make it happen.
So the Greyhawks will be kicking off from the 35-yard line. Back to receive again for the Denver Sharks is number 17, Flash. Kick is up. Sharks look like they're building a wall to the home team, home high sideline.
Great effort.
And he is brought down.
Great effort.
If we can get his number here. Number 40 something.
Great effort.
Just pure effort. Getting the Sharks inside their own 20. He had blockers, and he couldn't get anything out of that.
That was just great effort. He ran down on the kick, was the first one down. The score is 23-0, and he's still playing with a high motor.
Well, you're not going to get anything else from a bunch that's coached by Rashad Ray. He's going to make sure that guys get maximum effort for 4 straight quarters, even when the game is in hand.
Shout out to Rashad Ray.
Definitely.
Wow.
Here we go.
And like I said, the quarterback smoke, he needs to use his legs. He needs to make plays.
Well, we're going to find out what adjustments he can make here as we've now gotten our second timeout by the Denver Sharks. You're here with us on ColoradoSports.TV. Be back in just a moment. Had a CFC great come and bless us for just a second here in the booth. ColoradoSports.TV. The matchup between the Denver Sharks and the Colorado Greyhawks is back underway. The Sharks hand it off on their first play of the drive, get about 1 or 2 yards before he's brought down for no gain.
Let's see who wants it. I'm still waiting on the quarterback to make a play.
Well, hey.
Because he's capable of it.
I know. Hey, listen, I like Smoke. I think Smoke can do a lot of good things. But he's got to play within himself, and he's got to get some help from other players, key contributors. The pass is up, and it's caught by number 21, Crowder. A nice 16-yard play gets the Sharks their first down of the game.
And that's what I'm talking about. Great effort by Marcus Crowder, because I don't believe that ball was going to him. I could be wrong.
No, it went to the other wide receiver. He just so happened to be outstretched, and it just fell into his lap. That's a great awareness play by Marcus Crowder.
Great play.
Brings us to 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line, 33-yard line. 4 minutes and 51 seconds here in the second quarter. Greyhawks still lead 23-0. Folks are here wrapped up in their winter clothes as it's the middle of May, end of May. My birthday was yesterday, and we're looking like we're facing snow. Smoke is back to pass. Now, on that play, Josh, Smoke had the whole sideline to turn up and get a first down essentially, but I don't think he wants to run against this Greyhawk defense. What do you say?
He needs to run.
Well, he didn't there, though. He had an opportunity to skate right up the sideline, and he didn't want that smoke. No pun intended.
You got to be special. You want to play this game. What separates you is what you can do when things just don't go as planned.
Yeah,
right?
He's got to be able to go off
play.
schedule like Julian Banks did there.
That's why I like the Greyhawks receivers. They block. They put in effort. They do things when the ball's not in their hands. Anybody can play football, catch and run the ball.
Pass, yeah.
What makes you special?
Well, I'll tell you what makes you special. You just have to go in the lab and put the work in.
Exactly.
It'll show on the field. And we have another break, another timeout by the Denver Sharks. 4 minutes and 31 seconds left here in the second quarter. When we're back here, ColoradoSports.TV, Sean Boyd and Josh Ford here on the call. Greyhawks got a great jump, but they were offsides, and there should have been a penalty on the play. I wonder what the referees are seeing.
Yeah, that was definitely offside.
That was offsides. The kid is in the backfield before the ball was snapped, and I mean he was hugging the quarterback. Did I miss something? Did we miss something?
Looks like the refs are talking about it, and
give him the 5 yards.
I don't know, Sean C. Maybe the center moved the ball.
No, they give him the 5 yards.
They give it to him. Rightfully so.
So we have second down in about 6 here for the Denver Sharks. Smoke hands it off. Brandon Halperin giving a helping hand to.
Now, Sean C., you know I love my running backs.
Arthur Humphrey.
I love my running backs. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt for both the Sharks
and the Greyhawks.
and the
right?
Greyhawks. That Greyhawks defense.
It's just stout, man. And you got to, and like I said, you got to play great. You can't give anything to them. If you make a mistake, it's going to cost you.
Because I saw a hole, but it closed so fast.
Yeah, you make a mistake, it's going to cost you. Smoke back to pass. It's tipped. Ilario Vital making the play, saying, look, you got to throw that a little bit more precisely than that if you want to get it over me.
Vital's another key player, too. Vital is another key player.
And now we have another 4th down on the play in which the Greyhawks are getting the ball back. Stefan Mamoudzis is back to receive the punt. And this just puts the Sharks in a situation where if you go to the halftime down, or let's say they give up another touchdown here, it cannot vote well for their morale coming out in the second half. We're going to have a running clock sooner than we think if this is how the game continues. 4th and 5. It looks like the Greyhawks just gave them the first down.
Let's see.
With the penalty, Beast Mode.
Let's see.
The discipline for both sides here has to tighten up because this is out of hand.
Has to.
The offense comes back out for the Denver Sharks, and they're thanking Jesus on Sunday for their fortunes.
Wow, that's huge.
Very huge.
That's
it keeps
huge.
the drive alive with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left in the second quarter. Still the score resides at 23 Greyhawks. Sharks, kneel.
If I'm coach, he's running at practice. He's running at practice.
Well, listen, one thing I can tell you is Coach Rashad Ray will pull you out. He has a motto, you make a mistake, come stand on the sideline by me.
And I like that. Shout out to Coach.
Yeah, most definitely.
Let's see what they can do with this second chance.
All right now, Travis Greer is hyping himself up. Javonte Giles has been in his face this whole time.
Travis Greer.
And the Greyhawks get another offsides penalty. He picks it up off the fumble and is chased down by Marcus Crowder and said, come here, baby, which really is weird because the play should not be able to stand.
Let's see what a lot happened that play. Let's see.
The only thing that happened was an offsides penalty, and they let the play go. Now, I don't know if I need to go to LensCrafter and get my eyes checked, but that's a penalty on the Greyhawks, flat out, and that should have been a dead ball foul off the first down, which now the Greyhawks have given up another penalty, which they extended the drive. Now they're giving up another first down, which gets them another 5 yards. So this is essentially what Rashad Ray does not want. And at halftime, somebody's going to get their lunch ate.
Somebody's getting it at halftime.
I see Travis Greer trying to keep the morale up on the sideline here. He hasn't got off the ball yet. The running back gets the ball. Looks like he gets folded up and stopped. All for naught. So if the Greyhawks can literally just stay on sides of the ball, they'll stop the Sharks naturally. You don't have to do any disadvantage, take advantage. You don't need it.
The Sharks need to make this drive count. Marcus Crowder, Travis Greer.
And he's open. Oh, he's not open. He was blanket covered by Demetrius Nixon. And the other cornerback, the half Shark, half Greyhawk, Devon Cox. Reggie Robinson, the constant pro, still out there getting it done in the patent leather 11s, Columbia Legend 11 lows. Shout out to all our sneakerheads out there listening and watching the game on ColoradoSports.TV.
Shout out ColoradoSports.TV.
Why not, man? He's giving us the platform. Mr. Scott Sledgester, the producer, giving us the platform in order for us to work on the call that we're bringing to you live here on the live stream. Tell a friend, tell your mama, tell her friend. Tune in and listen to us. So here it is, 3rd down and 5. He fakes the handoff, and it's picked off by the Greyhawks. Bobby Purify does what he does best, turns it over, and they say, "Mama, there goes that man again."
Wow.
The screen falls short and gets turned over to Bobby Purify, who needs no help, no introduction in this game. Now he just left his mark and said, "I'll go holler. I'll go sit down on the bench."
One thing I like about the Greyhawks is they have guys who just play their position.
Yeah.
Bobby could clearly be at running back, but he's doing his thing. Vital, Seti, everybody does their
Playing
part.
different
and they
positions.
play together.
Yes, absolutely.
I love the discipline of the Greyhawks.
Absolutely. Now, if they could hone those in on the penalties, we'll be all right here. Three wide receivers to the left for the Colorado Greyhawks. Julian Banks fakes the pass. He's got a man wide open, and he air mails it to Aramis Robinson. Just missed him.
But that play is always open.
It's been open all day. It's been open all day long. Just got to settle down and get an accurate pass to the wide receiver. There's nothing that they can't get on this Sharks defense right now besides the run. Sharks have been getting a little bit more tougher in their run stop as they just say, you know what, all right, we're sick of Royce Ossie getting 6-7 yards a clip. It's time for us to shut that down just a tad bit.
Mm-hmm. Right on. And the Sharks need to come out and make a play.
It's been hard.
Coach is huddling him up. He's talking to him, and that's what they need.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, man, if you're playing against a team like the Greyhawks, they obviously do not need any help with the mistakes. They're going to make their mistakes, but if you are the team that's a little bit inferior to them, you have to play a picture-perfect game and capitalize on the mistakes that the Greyhawks give you.
Exactly.
They gave you 2 offside penalties, and then you turn the ball over after you get the ball back.
You can't have that.
You can't have that.
You can't have that. The Greyhawks is not a team you can take for granted and take plays off. And no, you have to come with your A game.
And you're going to get talked about when these guys get online later tonight. So the pride is in the air. It's thick. There's a lot of the vibes are just, it's beef. And so if you don't bring your hard hat and your lunch pail, it's going to be a long day.
And it all started with Smoke. We got to get him.
Got to get him outside that pocket. Julian Banks making adjustments at the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers to the left. Trips formation that's really dangerous with Aramis Robinson, Steven Mamuzic, and Raquan Southward all in the same line. Whoa. Julian Banks looks back to pass. He's scrambling. He scrambled a little bit of eggs, making an omelet back there.
Oh, my goodness.
Now he's got a guy open, and it's blocked and taken out of his hands by the defensive back, number 12.
Almost picked off.
Yeah, and Julian Banks, we don't agree a lot, but that was a time where his wide receiver definitely should have came back to him on that play. Because that would have helped the defensive back not be able to make a break on the ball and essentially take it out of his hands. Now, he might have got stopped after the catch, but at least he would have completed that.
And Sean C., that's just what we talk about, just Julian Banks making him play.
Yep.
I thought he was down.
And he scrambles, scrambles a little bit of eggs, makes an omelet, and look, a guy like Aramis Robinson is ready to receive it, get the bacon out here. And just number 12, the corner for the Denver Sharks, just makes a play. 2 wide receivers to the right and the left for Julian Banks. Banks is back to pass. He gets a block, and he's hog-tied by Nate Guillory, which he's just going to hate himself when he sees it on film because that was egregious, and that was a penalty that is going to bring it back 15 yards, and the Greyhawks will have 3rd down and forever when we resume play after the penalty call.
How do you feel about that play?
I like the play, but I do not like the way Nate Guillory did not set his feet, get underneath the defensive of pressure, and essentially he could have just got in front of him. Mm-hmm. He didn't have to do a lot, just get in front of the guy. Now you're pushing your team back, which hurts them. Still here with 1 minute and 50 seconds left here in the second quarter. We have a score of 23-0. It backs him up 10 yards on the play because Nate Guillory just hog-tied him like he's out on the range, being an old cowboy. And that's going to cost his team.
But once again, the Denver Sharks have to take advantage.
They got to capitalize. It's got to happen here, Beast Mode, or it's not going to happen at all. It's hard to go back in at halftime and keep warm and then come back out with any momentum as you've been essentially dominated for one half of football. So we have 3rd and 20 on the play for the Colorado Greyhawks. 1 minute and 50 seconds left.
Sharks have to take advantage of this play.
Ball about midfield. Julian Banks drops back to pass. He looks left. He looks right. He's got a guy in the middle. And he can't get it to either Steven Mamuzic on the post route or Aromas Robinson. And that brings up 4th down, in which the Greyhawks will now punt the ball.
Let's see, Chauncey.
They better punt it because they're in there the side of the 50, which means that you are now saying the Sharks could actually get a little momentum and maybe even score here before the half.
They need it.
Well, they need it really bad. Like a fish needs water, Sharks need some points. So we've got 4th and 20, 1 minute and 46 here in the second quarter.
Who's going to make a play?
That's the beautiful question here. Number 12 of the Denver Sharks is back to receive the punt. And it should be a quick kick from Julian Banks, I'm sure. And that's exactly what we get. It's a high pooch kick. And it just rolls and takes a favorable bounce. For the Greyhawks. 1 minute, 38 seconds left here in the second quarter. Score still resides at 23 Greyhawks, Denver Sharks 0.
One thing I can say is the Sharks have had many chances.
Yeah.
They need to capitalize on one.
You know, if you get a second chance in this game here, you definitely must capitalize. Without capitalization, we will stay stagnant at the score that we're looking at. The Greyhawks are content with a shutout here. I can promise you that. I got the chance to talk with Rashad Ray this morning. He called my phone, and we talked about the game, the key notes to today's game. And basically what he said to me is that, look, we need shutout for national rankings. We can beat these guys, but the South Bay Patriots, the teams that – oh, yeah, James Greer back to pass is smoking. He almost gets it to James Greer, but nobody was home. 2nd and 10.
And that's Travis Greer. We need that catch.
Yeah, but Smoke needs to settle down a little bit. That pass was way behind him. And from a wide receiver standpoint, look, we want to make you look good. We want to make every catch, but you got to give me a catchable ball at some point or another.
And Smoke is the backbone to this whole thing. He makes it go. So we need him to step it up.
Yes, we surely do. Let's go, Smoke. Here we go. 2nd and 10. He's back to pass. He's looking left. He's looking right. Greyhawks get a little bit of pressure on him. He gets 21, Marcus Crowder.
There we go.
For a 1st down on the play.
Now we need a sense of urgency.
Yes,
2
we do.
minutes.
The Sharks do not have any timeouts left in this first half, and so they got to get on the ball and go.
2-minute drill.
Like this is 7-11. Get it and go. Bars. Here we go.
Yeah, I like that.
Bars. But here we go. 1st and 10 from about the 40-yard line. Smoke is back to pass. He's got Greer. Big body.
Let's go.
Catch it.
Let's go.
And it's a 1st
Let's
down
go.
by Travis Greer. And he lets the fans know as the home crowd says, that's what we want. Give us some more.
Now we need more.
Touch it, baby. 58 seconds and counting. Smoke is on the run in the pistol formation. He drops back to pass.
That's run it.
Run it, Smoke.
Run. This is what we talk about.
Yes.
Run. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's a
Use your
1st
feet.
down. And as you can hear, the home crowd faithful is starting to stand up for the Sharks a little bit.
They woke up.
Yeah, here we go.
But that's what I'm talking about. One thing I like about Smoke is he is still looking to throw it and looking downfield.
He's
but
staying consistent
yeah,
with his
he's
wide
staying-
receivers. Now, there's 46 seconds left. The huge play there is he got out of bounds.
Exactly.
Greyhawks made it take a timeout. So will we here from ColoradoSports.TV. Be back in just a moment. Taco time. And we are back here on ColoradoSports.TV. It is taco time for the Denver Sharks as they are looking to get into the end zone and pass out some tacos. Shout outs to 16, Tucci, Shiny Boy. Smoke is in the pistol formation, running back behind him. 2 wide receivers to the right and the left. He drops back to pass. He's got a man open,
Great
and
pass.
he completes
On the
it.
ball, on the ball.
Brandon Helprin on the stop. The young Jimmy Provost talking to Rashad Ray, he said that he comes and meets with him on a daily basis just so he can get more in tune with the play calls.
Wow.
Trips to the left for Smoke. 1 wide receiver right. He fakes left. He's
Finish.
going
Finish.
to the guy Marcus Crowder up top, but he's got to get him a better ball than that.
Need a better
That
ball.
gets us with the clock stop at 25 seconds. Still our score is 23-0 as the Denver Sharks are surging.
Sean C., how do you feel about this drive? Is it touchdown or nothing?
It's
or?
a touchdown or nothing because a field goal cannot keep you in this game.
Okay.
Touchdowns is the only way that you stay in games unless you're playing a game with Ray Lewis as your defense. Now, if you don't have the Baltimore Ravens defense getting stops and you only need a touchdown to win a game, like, you've got to put up some points. Julian Banks will put more points up in this game because he demands nothing but greatness of his teammates.
Exactly.
So, you got to match that with intensity if you're Smoke and Travis Greer and the other stars like Marcus Crowder here on the Denver Sharks. 2nd and 10. 25 seconds left here in the second quarter. Smoke's back to pass. He gets it out to the flats. Gets about no yards as Devon Cox says he comes up, I'm going to make the play. You got to throw a better play on me.
I didn't like that play.
Man with the catch-up gloves on in the press against.
They need to spike it.
They don't spike it. They fake the spike, and he goes up top, gives him a ball, and he almost catches it, Marcus Crowder, that is. 4 seconds left here.
Are we going for a field goal?
They're going for a field goal. Smoke takes his helmet off, so that clearly lets us know that they're going to concede the drive and just get what they can. Again, Smoke, you got guys. You got to give him a play. You got to give him a pass that he can feel, something that he can actually make you look better than that. You know, it's going to be hard without that. 4.4 seconds left here in the second quarter. The Denver Sharks are going to go for a field goal as they have a late substitution in.
Got to have that personnel.
The kicker, ex-Greyhawk.
Johnny Mendez.
Yep. The snap's down. Kick is up.
Oh.
And it's off to the left, wide left, short left. Greyhawks get pressure on the kick, and that will take us. Oh, there's still 2 minutes and 0.4 seconds left here in the second quarter with the Greyhawks getting the ball back.
2 seconds left. What do you do? Take a knee.
If you're the Greyhawks here, you've established dominance, let it be.
Okay.
Let it ride. Do not do anything to defame the game. And that brings us to the end of the second quarter at Aurora Public School Stadium. Still our score is 23 Greyhawks, 0 Denver Sharks. You are listening here on ColoradoSports.TV, and we will see you here after the halftime. We are back for after halftime. ColoradoSports.TV bringing to you the Sunday night lights, Sunday night football, whatever you want to call it. It's a major game. The Denver Sharks playing against the Colorado Greyhawks. It's a home game for the Sharks, but realistically it's an interleague game, so nobody's at home. This won't go against either of their league records, but it is for the title of who's the best in the state right now, as both teams were undefeated last season. And now we have two teams playing to see who's the best right now. So this is an elimination game of all proportions, because nationally you'll look up, and if the Greyhawks get the shutout here, it's going to bolster their national ranking as the other teams that are on this side of the Mississippi, i.e. the South Bay Patriots or the Fury, a lot of these Cali teams, Texas teams, they're going to be shutting teams out. And so if the Greyhawks can do the same and hold on to the shutout, that's going to help their record. Now, with that being said, the recap of this game that has already that's underway is the Greyhawks have had 4 drives. They've put points on the board, 3 of those drives with 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 2 by Royce Ossie, 1 by Julian Banks, and then we have a field goal by Alex Steiner, the kicker. For the Sharks, they haven't had anything go their way just yet. Smoke has been contained for a major part of this game. Justin Depew, their running back, has been detained for a majority of this game. We have 1 completion that got out to Travis Greer and also 1 to Marcus Crowder. But aside from that, it's been slim pickings here for the Denver Sharks. You're back joined live here by Sean Boyd and Joshua Ford. Now, Josh, you got down there for halftime. Talk about what you've seen before the kick here, going to the Greyhawks.
I just saw the Denver Sharks. They're not down. They're not out of it. They're saying, we got guys. We just have to make plays.
All right, and Raquan Southworth gets the kickoff return. He makes a couple of people miss, and he gets out to the 35-yard line, and there's a penalty on the play.
Right from the start.
So rimming into the first half where we had lots of penalties, looks like it's going to continue here in the second half.
But, yeah, Sean, see, at halftime, I went down there. I expected the Denver Sharks to be down. They weren't down. They're saying, we got guys. We just need to make plays happen. Everybody needs to do their jobs.
All right.
As they were passing by the Greyhawks, I heard the Greyhawks screaming Grey Row, and the Denver Sharks didn't back down. Still a lot of trash talk. The Denver Sharks still very much in this game.
Mm-hmm.
They need to capitalize off of the turnovers, off of the mistakes of the Greyhawks, and just make plays. Play football.
It's going to be hard to do, man, when now they're already getting a penalty that's going to put the Greyhawks on the 50-yard line. So it looks like there was a personal foul on the play, which now brings up 1st and 10 from the 50. 2 fouls on the kickoff. So we had an offside by the Sharks, and then we had an unsportsmanlike conduct face mask penalty by the Sharks as well. So they just took the Yosemite Sam pistol and just shot themselves right in the foot to start the second half. Julian Banks is still in at quarterback. 3 wide receivers to the left as the Sharks get their defensive chant up. Julian Banks hands it off to the running back, Nate Guillory. He gets about 2 yards before he's smothered like a burrito from Chubby's and brought to the ground.
And you were right, smothered like a burritos from Chubby's. Great play. Great defensive stop.
Again, Sean C. with the bars. And here we go. It gets us to 2nd and 8. 14 minutes and 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. I apologize.
The Denver Sharks.
Devontae Hill is in the game at wide receiver now with the drippy red gloves. Can't touch this. Hammer time. Julian Banks drops back to pass. He gets it to Aramis Robinson. He gets about 8 yards before he's forced out of bounds by the Sharks defense.
And it's plays like that I like.
Just establish something, right?
Just something.
Get a rhythm going. Get your guys feeling like, okay, we can get back to doing what we do best, and that's easy completions, 5 to 6 yards per run, and then let it fly. I want to see Julian Banks take him deep. Go ahead and give him that money ball, shiny ball.
Taco time.
Taco time. He gives it off to Nate Guillory. Uh-oh. Watch him move. Uh-oh. He shakes and bakes, and they can't bring him down. He just falls down after a big-time run. He looks like Ezekiel Elliott jumping over the defensive back who just dives at his legs and looks silly.
Sean C., you
Talk
made
about
an Ezekiel Elliott comparison, but I want to know, who does Nate Guillory remind you of?
Nate Guillory reminds me of like a Garrison Hurst. Now, Garrison Hurst is a guy that will turn the ball up and get downfield, or maybe even a Warwick Dunn. He's very shifty at the line of scrimmage, but as soon as you get this guy the ball, so let's go this route. I like to compare Nate Guillory to a Devontae Freeman of the Atlanta Falcons. You can give him a screen pass. You can give him I don't even know. You can give him a run up the middle. And if the hole is there, or even if there isn't a hole there, he's going to make a play.
I agree.
3rd and 13 on the play. Julian Banks goes deep to Raquan Southward. He's open, and he beats him. Deep ball. Gets stopped at the 2-yard line. Raquan Southward making a big-time play. Coach Rashad said he's going to have a big game as he just chews up the defensive back and makes him look like toast because he's burnt.
That was a huge play.
Huge play on 3rd and 13 as it looks like the Greyhawks may have had to punt the ball, and now all of a sudden they're cooking with fish grease in the red zone. Julian Banks is still in the shotgun. One wide receiver stacked to the right. He hands it off. He fakes the handoff and looks like he was going to roll and get a play to Romus Robinson. Somebody jumped off, couldn't hold their water.
It looked like the running back jumped.
And Nate Guillory is getting sent to the sideline by his quarterback for making a mistake. You can't do that inside the red zone as you're building momentum here. And the Sharks are looking for anything for them to pounce on.
They're giving it to the Sharks. Will they take advantage of it?
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, we've got 1st and goal, still inside the 10-yard line on the 9. 12 minutes and 26 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. Julian Banks is in shotgun. He sets Royce Ossie off to the left of him.
Looks like it's going to be a fake handoff.
He hands it off to the big dog, and he's got room. And the Sharks still corral and make the tackle. Big-time stop by the Denver Sharks.
I liked how the running back hit the hole. And I also like how the defense responded. They came up. They didn't shy away from contact. Great play, both teams.
Hey, a lot of heart being shown here by the Sharks as they're getting punched in the mouth. Clear. But they have not shown quit. They have shown grit, and they have stayed in this game as long as they can, even though the score does not indicate that.
Let's see what they come out here.
2nd and 4. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. 11 minutes and 30 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. Julian Banks, shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the right and the left. He rolls right, fakes the pass. Defense is trying to keep contained. And we've got a flag on the play as Julian gets into the end zone for the touchdown. And here we go.
Hold on a second. Let's see.
Here we go. We got a little bit of extracurricular after the play is over with. Sharks are showing nothing but heart. Julian Banks get corralled, but he got into the end zone.
And we got a linebacker coming out.
And who is this hurt for the Sharks? Number chrome letters.
Number platinum.
Number platinum. I like that even better, Beast Mode. Number platinum with the stop. And because it looks like we may not even have trainers at today's game, that can be dangerous. Oh, yeah. I'm going to talk about it, okay? These are the things that we need on deck, and that's the hard part about semi-pro football is that nothing is guaranteed. Everything is had to be fought for. You got to earn everything. Now, the players actually have to pay for the trainer. And so it cannot always just fall on the coaches and the owners to get that stuff, because they have to pay for the field. They've got to pay for the referees. They've got to pay for this great production of ColoradoSports.TV. It's a lot that goes on to putting on this great show, Sunday Night Lights. Second in forever for the Colorado Greyhawks as they're getting backed up more and more. Julian Banks is back to pass. He's looking for a guy in the back of the end zone. He's got a touchdown to Steven Mamuzes as he spins the ball. Oh, no. Head referee Alan Bryan says no touchdown. Holding on the play. Back him up again.
But once again, will the Sharks take advantage?
You know, well, we've been asking that question for about 3 quarters now, Beast Mode, and they haven't been able to get any points yet, so the answer is no.
And, Sean C., I want to give a shout-out to Jordan Williams.
Okay.
They call him the Power Ranger.
Okay. Number
7.
All right.
With the lime green undershirt.
For the Sharks.
He's the leader of their defense.
All right.
He's always around the ball. He had the big stop in the first quarter. He is the general of that defense. I'm looking for him to make a big play.
Well, and on our live chat, we just got word that the South Bay Patriots folded. I did hear a little bit of that murmur, but the Fury are still around, and they are running that Pacific Coast like they own it. Brings us to second and 2 miles. Julian Banks is in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the right and the left after the touchdown was called back. Pressure on Julian Banks. He eludes it. Shakes and bakes. Looking for another guy that's open. Eludes another tackler and just throws a 500 ball, and it can't be picked off by the Sharks. That's what we're talking about, being able to take advantage of the miscues. Now, the defensive backs played great because there was nobody open for Julian Banks.
Sean C., another thing a great head coach told me, good is the enemy of great, okay?
All right.
Good is the enemy of great.
Talk about it.
It looks like the D-backs are just – they're comfortable with being good. You have to be great.
Step
Go
up. Make
get
a play.
That.
Make a play. Make a play.
That was – Banks threw that up, as you said, a 500 ball.
Yeah.
Go get that. You never know when the opportunity will present itself again.
I got a homeboy that says something like this. I say, hey, I got you on the – I'm going to get you this on the next time. He like, don't get me, got me.
Right.
So you got to make a play.
Got to.
Don't be good, be great. I didn't ask you to make a play. Go make a play. So we have our first break in the action here. Timeout, Greyhawks, I'm going to assume, because Rashad is like the penalties are mounting. We're going to take a step aside here on ColoradoSports.TV. We will be right back after the break. And we are back. ColoradoSports.TV. Sean Boyd, Joshua Ford, Colorado Greyhawks, Denver Sharks. We've got another penalty flag. It's still 10 minutes and 52 seconds here left in the third quarter. Our score, 23 Greyhawks, 0 Denver Sharks.
Let's see what this is.
Let's see what Alan Bryant brings for the penalty. Looks like everybody wasn't set. So we have third and 27.
Something interesting to me is I haven't seen James Ray
run
the ball at all.
They have not seen number 14 bless the field. And James Ray is one of those running backs that
he's at safety right now.
Oh, wow. Well, that's different because I'm used to him playing running back. And so it looks like everybody's playing somewhere else tonight. Julian Banks is back to play. Oh, gosh, he's getting pressure. He just escapes and gets it out. Motique the God on the catch, but he's out of bounds. Julian Banks offered, but nobody invited.
Wow. Wow.
The pressure by the Sharks is getting Julian Banks off of his key, and that is huge, ladies and gentlemen.
Great pressure by the Sharks, but I'm starting to see why you gave him that Lamar Jackson comparison.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Way to escape, elude, and just
Make a play.
Make a play.
And listen, he didn't have to do a lot, but he made sure that he got that ball out of bounds, which is huge because he didn't take a sack, and that is what Rashad Ray wants, or excuse me, Ryan Horn wants.
Exactly, and in the words of Uncle Willie on Friday, you live to fight another day.
But you live to fight another day. And the offside penalty shows the hands of the Sharks, just says, we're coming with everything and the kitchen sink, and it cost them 5 yards.
Yeah, the Sharks are really applying that pressure. They're not backing down.
Pressure busts diamonds, man. So
Penalty on the play, encroachment called.
encroachment on the Sharks. Alan Bryant calls it. Gives 5 yards back, so it's 4th and 22 for the Greyhawks. Still here with 10 minutes and 47 seconds in the third quarter. It's a brisk, cool night here in Aurora, Colorado, but nobody's went anywhere. The fans are still here to see this big-time game. Devontae Hill down at the bottom of the screen with the catch-up gloves. He's in a trips formation. Oh, Aramis Robinson jumps. And they catch him.
Let's see what the call is.
It goes against the Greyhawks.
I think the Greyhawks coaches were saying that the Sharks
jump.
first.
So the crazy part about it is we're all up in hands and happy about 5 yards being exchanged back and forth between these two teams. Somebody's got to hold their water.
4th down.
So 4th and 27 again for the Colorado Greyhawks. Greyhawks with 2 timeouts left in the half. Sharks have all of their timeouts.
Like I said, we need Jordan Williams to make a play.
Julian Banks is back to pass. He looks left. He's got a man across the middle, and he airmails it to Casper, the friendly ghost, because he's in the end zone. That's 4th down, and that's just as good as a punt, essentially.
Great defensive stop.
What a stop. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
What a stop by the Denver Sharks. They've been pinned in their own territory all game, and yet again, they get a stop when it matters most. Now, we need their offense to step up here and help these guys out.
And I want to give a shout-out to Paul Dupree, number 84.
What does he play?
He plays defensive end. He's really holding it down out there, giving great effort. Naturally, he's a tight end.
Okay.
But he's holding it down today, giving great pressure. Shout out to Paul Dupree.
Paul Dupree on the stop.
Let's see how their offense comes out.
1st and 10 for Smoke. First drive of the half.
In the pistol. It's a handoff and a fumble.
And it's a fumble snap to start the second half for the Denver Sharks, and that does not vote well for them.
Not at all.
They are going to need some help from their offense to make plays like this, Beast Mode.
Yeah, you got to come out with – that cannot happen,
Yes.
Sean C.
Yeah.
Ball security is first. That's important.
Well, I mean, again, when you take Yosemite Sam's pistols and you just shoot yourself in the foot to start the second half, you're already playing from behind the sticks. It's 2nd and 15, and you're already behind. So now when you're looking at that score clock and you see you're down 23-0 here in the third quarter.
The score clock, it's really not the problem because it should be like 50-0. The defense is really helping the offense out. It's time for the offense to help the defense out.
That's a whole fact. Here we go. 2nd and 15 from the 25-yard line is the Denver Sharks. Smoke is back to pass. He airmails it right into Daniel Ramsey's hands. He's not ready to Vina Vedovici. And the Greyhawks get down and they do their push-ups as a secondary because they just messed up the church's money.
Yeah, that should have been a pick. That should have been a pick six.
No, pick six all the way. I got a chance to talk with the defensive backs of the Colorado Greyhawks before the game started, And I told him, I said, hey, buddy, it's been a long time watching a lot of the film on you guys. It's been a long time since we've seen a secondary turnover.
You did, and I was there to witness that.
And so they said that that's what they would get one.
They did tell you
They've
that.
got one of that. They've got an interception. But to take one to the house and be great is the exception.
We got Smoke in the pistol.
Pistol formation is Smoke. He's back to pass. He looks left. He's got a man. He airmails it. And what an attempt. And he's driven to the ground and smashed up by Reggie Robinson.
Is that Reggie Robinson?
Reggie Robinson, man, with the old man game.
He's really showing me something today.
Hey, when you can play into your 40s, you're a beast.
He doesn't even – wow. Wow.
You're a beast. And I don't care what anybody has to say about that.
And there's a lot of young guys out there today, too.
Of course.
But he showing them all up.
You got 18-year-olds out there. You got 25-year-olds out there. You got 30-year-olds. You got 35-year-olds. And then you've got guys like Reggie Robinson playing into their 40s, and the guy hasn't missed a beat yet. And he's got on the drippiest cleats out of everybody.
Coach Vance Joseph told me, this was last year,
I'm listening.
you can't coach effort.
I agree with that.
You can't coach effort.
I agree with that 100%. Stephen Mamoudzis is back to receive the punt. He's got a wall by the name of Seti Mwaga back there, number 44, the hitman. And they've run into the kicker. Ilario Vital, somebody that's been around for quite some time, runs into the kicker. And now this might be another break for the Denver Sharks.
Another one. Another one.
Another one.
But Ken. Oh, and it looks like it is a break. The offense is coming back out.
So that's not just a running into the kicker for a 5-yard penalty, but it's actually, in fact, a personal foul roughing the kicker, which now is going to put the Sharks offense back out on the field. That's first down for the Sharks out to see where the referee spots this ball. And that's going to get them almost to the 40-yard line. They're out to the 36.5-yard line. Still cold, but that's what happens here in Colorado in May. You get hot and sunny one day, and then you get cold weather and snow the next. And it's going to happen until we break summer.
Smoking the pistol.
Once again, 1st and 10. He hands it off to the running back. He gets some positive yards.
And that's a great run.
And it's a great run for a first down, gets 12 yards on the play. And there's a penalty.
I think that was a face mask.
And so this is going to propel them across the 50-yard line. Sandman is flagging, saying, we want the penalty. Give us the yards that we want, and let's keep this baby rolling.
They have to capitalize. I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep saying it.
You've been saying it.
They have to.
Well, if they don't do it now, then they never will. This is their best opportunity to get some points on the board. They have now moved into Greyhawks territory. They haven't been on this side of the 50 yet.
And as James Ray told me at halftime, we have guys. We just need to execute.
Okay. Well, let's see what they do here. Smoke fakes the pass, and it's a handoff up the middle for a nice 3-yard gain. Stopped by the Greyhawks, big-time wall. They've got Mr. Quan, Big Daddy, number 99, only guy out there with no socks on. What a beast.
Yeah, especially in this weather.
It's cold outside. I got to have some tights on, little leg warmings, something like that if I'm going to be out there in this weather.
Heat packets.
Something to keep me comfortable as I'm doing my thing out here. But when you're an animal like Quan, you do what you do. Handoff by Smoke. Gets it to Justin Depew for a nice, about 5 yards on the play. It's 3rd down and 3. 8 minutes in counting here in the third quarter.
It was good to see Justin Depew out there. I wasn't expecting to see him out there.
Yeah.
That's how you know this game is a huge deal.
It's a big deal for everybody involved. Even for us here in the booth in ColoradoSports.TV. We get a chance to bring to you a monumental game in Colorado football history. And with that being said, this, again, is going to set the tone for where these two teams will go going forward. the CFC, they can win all those games, but if you don't beat the Greyhawks, then the state championship game is really for nothing unless they get a chance at them again in the state championship game later this year.
Exactly.
Smoke in the pistol formation, hands it off, and they're getting yards. Push it. And they get the first down as the line judge, Bobby Albee, is signaling first down. Move the chains. He and Ashley Miller said, that's a first down, let the chains move. I might as well keep it rolling. We appreciate you guys for tuning in.
ColoradoSports.TV.
Liddy. Here we go. As we got first down, we got the Sharks pressing. They're pushing. They're looking to try to get into the red zone and get some points. 6 minutes and 56 seconds and counting. Still, we have a score of 23-0, Greyhawks. Sharks running back number 32 just surges forward for a few yards before he's brought down.
And though he was stopped on that play, he runs hard. I like the way he runs.
He's a little high for my liking.
High energy. But he runs high, but he's giving great energy, getting his teammates hype. Got to get lower and get behind those pads, but I just like how he hits the hole. He doesn't run scared. He doesn't tiptoe. Get the pad level lower.
And here we go. We have 2nd and 10 on the play for the Denver Sharks. Got somebody running across the field. Our trainer.
We have trainers here. We still got a man down on the sidelines. Smokes in the pistol.
Drops back to pass, and he's got a man wide open
for
the touchdown.
And there we go.
He bobbled the ball.
Wow.
And obviously Bob Albee says that is no good.
Wow.
3rd down on the play after the beautiful pass and catch from the Sharks. And we have it as a catch. My producer, my camera operator saying it's a catch. But I guess we need to send our line judge to Lens Crafter, and maybe he can see better and call that a catch. Because as of right now, folks, we just got a sham.
That was a great throw.
We haven't had many completions by Smoke, and finally we get one, and yet it's called incomplete.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And I don't know if that may take the wind out of the sail for the Sharks. Let's see how they respond here.
And Sean C., what was that quote by Coach Eric Bieniemy that I shared earlier?
It's not about how you act. It's how you respond.
How you respond. Things will happen. How do you respond?
Brings us to 3rd and 10, 5 minutes and counting. Smokes back to pass. He's looking for a guy open. And it's in the turf, almost picked off by Demetrius Nixon. Looking for Flash. Number 17. But to no avail, nobody's home. Knock, knock, nobody's home. On to the next door. That brings us to 4th down on the play. Still, the Sharks have their offense on the field.
Fourth down.
4th down, balls in the middle of the field, around the 29-yard line. Sharks said, we know we haven't got nothing going yet, but we need it here. Sharks tried a little bit of an illegal substitution, but referee said, but he's supposed to be there. And now our line judge here, Bobby Albee, is going to go talk to Alan Bryant and figure out, our head referee, see what the heck is going on here.
Let's see what they come up with.
An update on our injured player for the Denver Sharks. It doesn't look to be a good one as he is now being carted off. We wish the best for him and his recovery.
Yes.
And as you can hear the nice sound from the crowd, just giving him a helpful hand off the sideline here.
Yeah, we're sending him a speedy recovery.
back to play here.
4th down.
Smoke gets the snap. He lets it up top,
Once again.
and it's out of bounds, and nobody's home. The defensive back lets him know. That's D. Ramsey.
And I want to give a shout-out to Big Seti.
What did he do?
They cannot block him.
Oh, did he get
They
through and
cannot.
apply that pressure?
He got through, applied the pressure. Shout out to Big Seti.
Well, the
Number 44.
The hitman, number 44, plays both sides of the ball, Iron Man ball, doubles up as a defensive lineman, and then goes out and gives you everything he has as an offensive tackle. That's the type of guy you want on your squad.
And I know earlier I said Nate Guillory would be the X factor. Seti is the X factor.
It's great that you make that point, because I'm going to make another point here. For the last few years, Seti Mwaga has been one of the best players in the semi-pro football world. It's all about his effort. When he wants to give you bodies, he's going to give you bodies. Nate Guillory gets the handoff. He does a little stuttering at the line of scrimmage trying to figure out where he wants to go next, but he still gets some yards. Oh, I take that back. That is Cameron in there, and we call him Cam, and Cam done got in the game. Usually he's working, but today he found time to get out there and get in the uniform and do his thing. Devontae Hill down to the bottom.
Nobody's missing this.
Stephen Mahmoud is in the slot. Julian Banks is making calls at the line of scrimmage from about the 32-yard line, I apologize. He hands it off to Cameron. Cam gets about 5 yards. 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. Sharks have to keep fighting. Said we got Jordan Williams out there leading the defense.
4 minutes and 23 seconds here, 3rd quarter.
Got Paul DePriest out there on the edge. This defense is fighting.
Sure.
They're fighting.
Well, the thing is that they're not getting any breaks, beast mode. And so when you keep putting your defense out there, eventually they're going to wear down. We've got an offsides penalty. Xavier Galligan's pointing to the opposition as if it was their fault. Got a little bit of false start. Got the internet back up here in the booth, so we're good to go.
And this Denver Shark defense, they're showing a lot of heart. They're showing me something.
Yeah, why not, man?
I like the guys up front. They fight. And like you said, they can't catch a break. They need help.
They need help
from the offense.
Clear. Julian Banks in the shotgun. 3rd and 8. He looks to pass. He's dropped back. He looks left. Playing around with fire.
Just playing.
Stops and gets taken out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain. Still gets something because I didn't see him even getting that. But, wow. Julian Banks does it again. And I'm watching Xavier Galligan and Stephen Mahmoud, 2 guys that had a little bit of a difference off the field, meet on the field, shake it up. That's what real people do.
That's what it's all about.
And that's what it's all about. That's what brings us together for the night's matchup.
And Stephen doesn't have to talk. He lets his game speak.
Well, yeah, but I tell you what, like I said, when he's with the right person he feels comfortable with, oh, that boy gets to talking.
Oh, yeah.
I hear about it, believe me.
And I do want to give a shout-out to DeMario Hawkins,
yes.
DB number 36. He's out there holding it down. He's on his own.
Now, but he's been cooked a couple times down at the bottom by Raquan Southward.
I like how he's stepping up. He's not backing down.
That's what you want. That's heart. 4th and 5. Julian Banks is looking around for somebody. Looks like he's going to beat the contain.
And he takes off.
And gets another 1st down for the Greyhawks, extending the drive. And the Sharks just can't seem to catch a break when it comes to Julian.
Sean C., how frustrating is it to play against a guy like June Banks, who you think you have them, and then a play like that happens.
Well, Josh, I can tell you like this. I've had the fortunate of playing with Julian Banks for the last 5 years, and so I don't know what it feels like to be demoralized in that form. But what I will say is this. When you see a guy continuously break down the other team's defense, it gives you the confidence as, let's say, on the defensive side of the ball for the Greyhawks. It gives you confidence that I can give me another swig of water. I can compose myself and get ready to go back out there and keep this shutout alive. Julian Banks in the shotgun. He hands it off to Cam. Cam cuts it up. Beast mode running and
Great
gets
run.
another first down.
Great run.
And they're signaling, move them chains.
That was a great run by Cameron. Great effort. Running through hand tackles.
Cameron Smith.
Cameron Smith.
That's right. And
Great run.
Cam, if I got that wrong, I apologize. I know you as Cam. I'm with you all the time, man. My fault. Julian Banks looks to the sideline looking for the play.
If you look at the Sharks' defense, their body language, you see hands on hips. They're tired.
Well, that's I was going to say, you took the words right out of my mouth. You're tired at that point.
Yeah.
When your hands are on your hip, you bend over, you're tired. And that goes into your off-season preparation, your training. A lot of the times, like I explained to our camera operator, Dana, if you do not train, it will show when you get out there on the field.
It will. And to that point, they're not getting any help from their offense. How
No.
many first downs have we had from their offense all
Maybe
day?
about 2 or 3.
Maybe 2 or 3, so it's been 4 and outs constantly.
And with 1 minute and 58 seconds left here in the third quarter, you just wonder how much longer can this Sharks defense be able to put on a great performance before – I mean, because think about it like this. Those runs that they got scored on were, from the play break it down where Julian Banks scampered in for the touchdown. Mm-hmm. The other 2 were just from being inside the red zone from the offense's misfortunes. The punt return by Steven Mamuzic to get them into the red zone. I mean, the Sharks have played – they essentially have played from behind this whole game. And what the Greyhawks have done, they have played with the house's money all day long. Don't laugh at me, Scott Sledester. I've got a lot going on. My tongue is tied, and I'm thinking about some chicken.
Oh, my God.
As I always am. Anybody that knows me knows I'm always at chicken spots. All the time. No,
Let's
that's
see.
an East Coast thing. Is Harold's Chicken's the East
No, it
Coast?
wasn't East Coast, but yeah.
What? Oh, it's Midwest. Chicago's Midwest.
Yeah. it's
Oh,
weird.
without a doubt. I wanted.
He said, what?
I thought she said something else, but
I was born and raised on the south side of the city.
so she loves Shameless as she grew up on the south side of things in Chicago. That is our camera operator, Miss Dana Madrano. Moreno.
He is thinking about chicken.
I want chicken. We're still live. We're talking about chicken while we're live here. It's okay.
What other Sunday night munchies does everybody have?
Wingstop, because it's open till 12 o'clock.
Oh, are you really? Cool.
Wingstop has the best ranch. Just throwing that out there.
1st and 10 from the 50-yard line is Drew Banks on the right hash mark. Still 23-0 Greyhawks. Low snap. Drops back to pass. He
see?
rolls left, and he's got all types of space.
It's like right there. It's a
Nobody's
great play.
there. He's pointing guys out. Steven Mamuzis almost gets caught with a block in the back, but the refs don't see it. Julian Banks lets everybody else know this is easy work. I do this with my eyes closed, and if you guys are going to keep giving me opportunity to do so, I'll take it. I'll take it. And somebody in the crowd believes that there's holding on the play by the Greyhawks. It needs to stop. We want to see a fair one. So,
Julian Banks.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line of the Sharks. Julian Banks is still in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the right and the left. He sends a man in motion. Devontae Hill, it's a fake to him on the jet, but they give it to Cam right up the middle with the all-white everything.
He is looking very crispy.
And he gets about 2 yards on the play while he's looking crispy. Actually, he doesn't get any yards on the game. The Sharks say, no way, baby. We're right here. We still got beef up front. We're still in this game.
And what I like –
Oh,
yeah,
hey,
we're still crispy, right?
Crispy chicken, woo.
And what I like about the
Who got
Sharks
the
right
hot
now,
sauce?
Greyhawks are moving the ball, but you see the Sharks communicating. They're talking.
That's
making
huge.
adjustments.
That's huge. You know, again, we spoke about the heart of the Sharks. They know that they're a little bit outmatched right now, but they're still continuing to fight on. You got to respect it. Julian Banks is back to pass. He's looking left. He's looking right. He's got a man, and he just skips it like skip to my Lou, skips it across the rocks to the open Devontae Hill, asking him to come back to the ball. But unfortunately, Banks, you just got to make a better pass there. Brings us to third down. 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Our score still 23-0 Colorado Greyhawks.
This third down is critical right here for the Sharks.
Huge, beast mode, very huge, as they want to get off the field. They need to get off the field. They're missing a key component, a guy whose engine never stops. Julian Banks is back to pass. Oh, he's getting pressure.
Is he going to get him? Are they going to get one?
And he eludes it again. And he scrambles, finds a guy open, and it's picked off.
Almost.
It's dropped by the DB.
That's Jordan Williams. That's why
Jordan
I've been talking
Williams.
about. And he knows he should have got that.
No, he needs to do push-ups for messing up the church's money. Here it goes. They had an opportunity to
and he's going to do them, yeah.
Take Julian Banks out of his element, make him a little bit more uncomfortable, and he couldn't do it. Julian Banks is sitting back on his recliner right now laughing because he just threw a jackpot ball up, and the guy couldn't capitalize. Those are the capitalizations that we're talking about by the Sharks, and they just cannot come up with it.
Yeah.
And maybe if he tuck his undershirt in, he might be a little bit better at what he's doing out there.
Dubby needed to get that one. As I said, he's one of the leaders of that defense. He knows that he messed up on that. Short-term memory, fourth down. Huge play right here.
Huge play.
Ju Banks in the shotgun.
That's me. Shotgun for Julian Banks. He draws back to pass. He's looking. He got a guy. Raekwon southward.
Get this one, and he did.
What a pick!
And I told you.
What a pick by Williams.
Jordan Williams.
Holy crap. He caught it on the shoulder pad with one hand. Holy moly. And we still got a football game here. As number one, Jordan Williams just said, look, I know I dropped the last one, but, hey, take it easy on me, Sean C. I got the next one.
And as I said, coming in, that's my guy, the Power Ranger, Jordan Williams. He plays hard. Messed up, but short-term memory.
Hey.
And he went back and he got it.
Hey, Beast Mode, listen, man. I know a lot of things, okay? But I know a dead clock is right twice a day. Right now is just a time for Jordan Williams to make the play, and he was right today.
And let's see. Once again, we've been saying it all day. Can his offense?
Now that brings us to the end of the fourth quarter, to the end of the third. Our score, starting the fourth quarter, is 23-0. The Colorado Greyhawks leading the Denver Sharks here at Aurora Public Schools Stadium. Back here live at Aurora Public Schools Stadium as the fourth quarter begins. The big turnover finally made by the Denver Sharks, getting Julian Banks to turn it over once. The guy's been playing lights out when it comes to scampering, keeping the plays alive. Our score is still 23-0 Greyhawks. quick little update for all of our listeners and viewers on the live stream. I believe that the basketball game in the NBA is still available as the Bucks are trailing the Raptors of Toronto 94-96. So if you don't have double TVs in your house like Shiny Wild Wings, then you got the score here. Thank you for tuning in to ColoradoSports.TV. Smokes back to pass. He's looking.
And he's
still looking.
He has to run.
And he gets forced out of bounds by big Trent Nichols.
He has the ability to run. He has to run.
Yeah.
Now, Sean C., I'm going to back up a little bit.
Talk about it.
Because we raved and we seen the pick by Jordan Williams.
That's right.
Should he have batted that down?
Ooh. Yeah, absolutely. He should have batted that down because it was fourth down. Let him have it, and then you get your offense in a better position because now you started in bad territory.
Right.
Where any turnover right here, a botched snap, a pick off, or a fumble, and guess what happens? The Greyhawks pick it right on up, go into the end zone, do they dance, and here we have it. We'll be looking at a different score, but right now it is 23-0, Colorado Greyhawks. 13 minutes and 55 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. It's down to the drama hour, ladies and gentlemen.
Reminder, if you guys do not have credentials to be on the track or the field, please find your seat.
Once again, we're getting our reminder.
If you do not have, but the Sharks have everybody and their mama down on the field right now, and that's what's happening. And that's why you have people yelling. Marcel Tyler getting ready to pick it off, and he knows, get down, give me 10, and get back to the huddle. Too many mistakes here, many drops by the defense, the secondary of the Colorado Greyhawks. They need to turn these plays into some more turnovers. They got a turnover chain over there, and they can't seem to get it on anybody's neck besides Bobby with his interception, and Jawanta Giles had an interception as well. Mm-hmm. Since then, we have not had any more touchdowns, any more scores. The Sharks got into field goal range and had their field goal go wide left. And other than that, they have not been in the red zone since.
And this looks like they got to punt it.
I can tell you right now, if they punt this ball to Steven Mamoudzis, this is a touchdown. You need to kick this ball out of bounds and do not give him an opportunity to run this into the end zone as his hitman, 44, Seti Muaga.
I think you just need to get it off.
With the long flow. And he kicks it right to him. Steven Mamoudzis catches on the run. And he's brought down by the coverage team and says, no way, Jose. And now we have a flag on the play. Looking like we're getting a little bit of extracurricular activity out of both teams. Guys are just pumped up, ready to play some football.
Yeah, but use that energy on the field.
Yeah, use it in between the whistles.
Right.
You're getting all that energy out after the whistle. It's counterproductive. So that brings us to 1st and 10 for the Greyhawks, and we're going to wait till after the penalty to see where the spot is of the ball. Sharks are in desperate territory right now, and to say the least, it's getting a little bad. And Julian Banks doesn't need to be on this side of the 50 before he's going to put a score on you, and you're going to look very sad real quick.
Let's see. Looks like the refs are still.
Dead ball foul on sportsmanlike conduct on both sides. They should offset. Ball is first down from the 31-yard line. Greyhawks are, oh my goodness, and what do we have here? We have Raymond Roundtree into the game at quarterback for the Colorado Greyhawks.
You called it out, Sean C.
I said it a little bit earlier. I was a little bit premature when I thought Julian Banks was playing safety. But now we bring Roundtree into the game. Let's see if they keep it simple for him, or do they let the young gun sling it.
This game still isn't over.
I hate to say it, Josh, but the big man downstairs is warming up his pipes, and he's getting ready to start singing here. Surely. Ramus Robinson is in motion. He's uncovered. Fakes like he's getting a handoff. They just pound it up the middle and get what they can. 1st and 10, but now it brings us to 2nd and 10. 13 minutes and counting in the 4th quarter. Still our score, 23-0. Greyhawks with the lead.
Great stop by the D-line.
Huge
Keep
stop.
fighting.
Huge stop.
Keep fighting.
They've been fighting all game, to be honest with you, Beast Mode, but it has not turned over or yielded any results on the board.
Sean C., still about 12 minutes, 48 seconds left. Still time.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
It's not
the Denver
today.
Sharks have to keep fighting.
It's just not today. Denver Sharks got to keep fighting, and that's what we're here to see. Thank you guys for tuning in to ColoradoSports.TV. Raymond Roundtree is in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the 3 wide receivers to the left. He's back to pass.
And there's a sack.
Oh, he escapes the pressure, and then he gets out of there for about a 3-yard gain. 4-yard gain is Raymond Roundtree out to the 30, out to the 26, 20. No, I can't see it until everybody moves out the way. But they got him marked here at the 28-yard line of the Sharks.
And my apologies to Mr. Roundtree. I thought he was sacked, and he eluded. Seen a little.
Not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast. Greyhawks break the huddle.
So we have Raymond in the shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers to the right and the left. On the left hash mark is the Greyhawks. Sharks are in their traditional 3-4. Roundtree's back to pass with a low snap, and he shakes out and just gets power driven, but he gets the ball out. 55 says, "Come here, little baby." You just passed him. Alex Cochrane.
Great effort, not giving up by the D-line. They got their sack.
And, folks, if we didn't get the guy right on the call, you have to excuse us, but our number platinum out there for the Sharks is really hard to read, even with the lights on.
The lights are reflecting their hit.
Their
I can't
numbers.
describe it. Yeah, it's hard to see.
We work through the ins and outs here. That's okay. It's a big part of being here on ColoradoSports.TV.
And Sean C., I'm looking for Jordan Williams to make another big play.
Absolutely.
I'm calling it.
Raymond Roundtree, 4th down. 4th and 7 for the Colorado Greyhawks.
4th down.
Drops back to pass. He slings it. Motique the God drops it.
Sean C., one thing I can say, the Denver Sharks defense have been holding it down. The offense needs to come through.
That's a very uncharacteristic move by Motique the God, as I've seen this kid put on for years. The kid makes plays.
He makes plays?
Now, I want to say that being that he's in a different uniform, it may be a different adjustment for him. So maybe he's thinking a little bit more than normal. But this is crazy to watch him drop a pass when he's been nothing but money. And speaking of money, they're going to talk to him on the sideline about messing up the church's money on Sunday.
And that's what I like about the Greyhawks. They hold every player accountable.
Oh, yeah.
There's no passes. You're gonna, no matter what the score is.
Talk to you about it.
And I like that. That's championship football, and I see why the Greyhawks have been so good.
For so long. Dominance reigns supreme. So, Smoke is back out there on offense. He's got 1 wide receiver, 2 wide receivers to the right and the left.
It's time, Juwan.
Make something happen for the home team, Juwan. He drops back to pass, little easy completion, gets it to Flash. He's fast. He's fighting. Gets 3 yards on the play. You got to like it. A lot of grit.
That was the first. Was that a screen?
Yeah.
With no blocks.
Oh,
A
man.
naked screen.
Well, this is why we have you in the booth tonight, Beast Mode, for you to be able to give this color commentary and point the things out that we may miss. You're a student of the game. You've played everywhere. You've been professional. You still are at Dove Valley as we speak.
And I'm blessed to be a part of it. ColoradoSports.TV. Thanks for having me, Sean C.
You still hold some records up there at the Colorado University. Go Buffs. you're best friends with Philip Lindsay. I mean,
It's my guy.
it's a pleasure to be in the room with you at this point. Smokes back to pass. He's looking for an open man.
The wheel
He's
route.
got one. And what
Wow.
a catch at the 50-yard line. A big-time play.
Looks like the defender jumped early.
Reggie Robinson a little premature with his pass breakup, and number 88 looks a little remnants of Des Bryant and makes the catch. That's Andrew Maynard, your wide receiver, with the catch from Juwan.
Great throw. Well, great catch.
So that brings us to 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line, 9 minutes and counting for the Denver Sharks. See if they can get a little momentum here.
Look for him to go to Travis Greer.
Smoke is back to pass. He's looking for a man. He's got him. Alex Maynard again doing
Great
what he
catch.
does best, and that's catch that ball.
Keep going.
Now
Keep
they're
building off
rolling
this
here as the
momentum.
Sharks have gotten over to the other side of the 50, and they're back, and they look like they're ready to score. Now, hopefully, time is on their side here as we're at 9 minutes and 33 seconds in the fourth, which that cannot vote well because you cannot want to catch fire at this point in time in the game. And speaking for the Greyhawks know that their shutout is in jeopardy.
Right. And that's important. You said for national rankings, right?
Yes, sir. And without that, they might as well just go ahead and play the season out and watch. They'll have to go on the road if they want to win
And
something.
it is
Jawan
intercepted.
just airmails it to the Greyhawks defense. And here we go. He's on the run.
And
The
it
50,
looks-
the 40. And he is out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Wow.
Oh, baby. Raymond
Wow.
Roundtree is set up for his next drive in good territory. He's got his starting wide receivers in. His starting linemen are still in the game. Let's see what he can do. Young gun, let it rip.
Now, Sean C., I don't want to go in on Smoke, Jawan, McPhee too early because
Oh, it's too late in the game. We got to go in now.
it could have been miscommunication on the receiver, but all I know is they need to get it together, the Sharks offense.
So at this point, what you're going to look for, Josh, is just to establish a little bit of momentum going forward. Your next game.
Okay. I get it.
If you're the Sharks, you clearly are at a disadvantage because you are not going to win this game.
I still believe in the Sharks.
You can.
I
I believe
still
in him too,
believe.
brother. I believe in him too, Cuzzo. I'm with you on that. Handoff to the running back, number 23. He gets what he can before he's ran out of bounds.
It just shows you the difference in expectations because the Greyhawks, they don't want to get scored on, and the Sharks are just looking for a win.
Yeah.
You know, and it shows you the different levels of expectations. They're still playing hard. The Greyhawks, Sharks need to step it up. Got about 8:20 left in the game.
Greyhawks still on top, 23-0. Dominant from start to finish as Ray Roundtree is now your starting quarterback.
What I like about the Greyhawks is they're very disciplined. You see guys together, the Sharks not so much.
Well, it's hard to stay together when you're losing. Okay.
Good point.
Whoa,
Oh.
Ray Roundtree escapes.
Man, missed opportunities.
Well, hey, listen, if you are the Sharks, you again want to establish some momentum going forward as this game is essentially at hand. The Greyhawks have now just begun to just lay on you, prey on you, and put the hot sauce on you and hit you with the chip dip.
Chip dip. Let's see what we got here.
Ray Roundtree is in at quarterback with his new running back, number 23. And I will have his name here shortly. Ray Roundtree lets it rip. Stephen Mamuja makes a catch and just goes down and concedes as he's seen all the players around him. And for all it's worth, folks, you say, well, why didn't he stay on his feet and make a run? I'll tell you why. He didn't want that smoke.
First down.
Most definitely. Ray Roundtree. Back to pass, he lets it rip, and it's to nobody as his wide receiver was not out of his break and ready to receive that pass.
You want to know, it shows a lot about the Greyhawks and their team because Jew Banks goes out and they don't miss a beat. They don't miss a beat at all. Ray Roundtree comes in, and it's not no drop-off at all.
Yeah, and you know what? And Ray is new. So for him to be able to come into a game late with a team that essentially he's not, or a unit rather, that he's not all the way familiar with because he doesn't take those first-team reps, it's good to see him be able to succeed.
Okay. You're right. I want to see him get in the end zone.
Here we go. Ray Roundtree's back to pass. He's got a man wide open, and Ramus Robinson is going to score, and that is a touchdown.
And he made it happen. Right on cue.
There it is. And boom, there it is. Call God.
Is that the dagger?
That is the dagger. And, folks, that is the touchdown that gets us to 29-0. Greyhawks on top, dominant over the Denver Sharks. And they're going to go for two. The Greyhawks are.
Now, is this going for two? Is this a national thing too? Does this relate? Is there a point system?
The more points, the better.
Okay.
The least points for your opposition, the better.
Okay.
It's style points. It all matters.
Okay.
And, I mean, for the Greyhawks, listen, Josh, the Greyhawks have ran the state of Colorado for the last 5 years. It's no longer a question of can they win games in Colorado and be dominant. Mm-hmm. The real question is when you get up against somebody from out of state like the Kansas City Bulldogs, when you play the Fury of California, or you play a reputable team from Texas or from Seattle or wherever they may come from, respect to them. But that's where the Greyhawks have to get over the hump and show that they can win out-of-state games. Ray Roundtree is just swallowed up and brought down on the play by the Denver Sharks. Three guys corral him and say, come over here, Ray.
Looks like we got a shark down.
So that leaves our score at 29-0 with 6 minutes and 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a timeout here on ColoradoSports.TV, and we'll be right back after your break. Welcome back to ColoradoSports.TV for the remainder of the fourth quarter at Aurora Public School Stadium. With our score, 29-0, the Greyhawks are on top. 29-0 as the Greyhawks are on top. Alex Steiner set to kick it off. It's still light outside. That's a beautiful thing. The lights are on, Sunday night lights.
And it all comes down to character now.
The character's on the line for the Denver Sharks. Believe that. Number 17, Flash, catches it. And we've got a penalty, so even if he does anything good, as he's knocked out of bounds by Marcel Tyler, it will not matter as it will come back.
And that was actually number 48, D. Haven. Guy I mentioned earlier, great run. Don't think it'll count.
Yeah, it will not count. So D. Haven is not 17.
No. That was number 48. The jerseys, it's hard to tell.
Number platinum.
The platinums. But yeah, D-Haven Demeter, good run.
And thank you, Josh, for being able to correct and get us the right call for the right player. We want to make sure to give that man his just due. So we have a quarterback change for the Denver Sharks.
Sean C., what do you think about this quarterback change?
So as I alluded to earlier, this game is all but over. And so, again, for the Sharks, this is indicative of them being – we just want to get some morale on our side. We want to get some motivation for next week's game.
Exactly, but it's different with the Greyhawks because their quarterback change was different situation. Is this quarterback change a fight for a spot?
No,
now?
I think it's a better way to not get your starting quarterback hurt.
Okay. So you think they still run with Smoke?
Going forward, Smoke will still be the quarterback of the Denver Sharks, but as for now, this game is all but in hand. And with that being said, they do have other quarterbacks. And I don't want to say you want to get a guy his plays, because this isn't Little League football. But let the other guy get a shot, okay? Because clearly Smoke hasn't gotten the job done today. The ball just gets handed off by number 12.
To the gentleman with the dog on the track, you need to please remove your dog from the track and the stadium. Unfortunately, dogs are not allowed. Sorry.
And we have a little bit of extra from the Nat Sound here in Aurora Public Stadium. I don't know what will make the man bring out his dog into the stadium anyway, knowing that pets aren't allowed inside the facility. But a man's best friend is his dog, and so you can clearly see that's the case. Sharks are in a weird formation,
snap,
and he just gets the ball off, and he gets pounded.
Throw it up. Would have went the other way. Wow.
And he's going to fill that one tomorrow before he goes to work. He's going to wake up and ask his wife, why did you let me go in that game last night? I told you I didn't want to play football no more. Yeah. And she's going to say, baby, you the one that said you want to go out there and play. So that's what happens when you make it. But he got to make a better business decision and say, hey, listen, my brand is my body, and I'll just go ahead and concede that one. Go down.
Yeah, just go down.
And the Greyhawks gave up a personal foul penalty by hitting the quarterback as he was down on the ground. So as he conceded the play, they still pounced on him. 5 minutes and 22 seconds and counting. First down for the Sharks as they approach midfield. And as you can see, the Greyhawks, they're just pinning their ears back. They're just going for blood at this point. They're sending exotic blitzes at these Sharks and making things look a little bit non-transparent for them. Marcel Tyler's not even facing the formation. He's in straight man.
Yeah. Okay.
And about a nice 5 yards there on the carry is number Platinum of the Sharks. We apologize. Speaking Sharks, if you happen to hear this, hey, we apologize, but y'all got to get some better jerseys with the numbers that we can visually see, because we were right in front of your bench, and those are the numbers that we can see. But as you're on the field, it gets a little bit crazy and sparse. But I do like the uniforms, though.
You guys definitely leveled up.
Leveled up from the orange and green. I didn't even recognize the Sharks when I was looking at film, studying for the game. Backup quarterback in the game, he rips it. And Marcel Tyler drops the church's money. Unbelievable. But yet, here it is again. The Greyhawks make the stop, and it brings us to 3rd and 5 for the Denver Sharks.
So, yeah, Sean C., you were right. You were right.
This game is over, brother. A lot of the times for the odds makers and for the parlayers and people that play with spreads, you can tell the texture of a game by the first 5 minutes of it. At that point, if it's not a clear dogfight, then one way or the other, you will be able to determine what this game is the outcome of the game is going to look like. Our quarterback is in shotgun with 2 running backs to the right and the left for protection. And he quick gunslings it out to the flats, gets a first down to the wide receiver out there.
Number Platinum on the catch. 3 minutes and 44 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Our score still held at 29 Greyhawks, 0 Denver Sharks. And Sean C., do you think that 29 is that enough? Is that satisfactory for the Greyhawks today?
The good thing about it is that it will appease for the style points because you got 29, you got 30. However, the opposing team got 0, and so that's good. What will not look good is if you have a team in your division nationally that shows they get 56 points and give up no points.
Okay.
So they doubled up whatever production you put out there. That's hard to say we're better than them, but we don't score more points than them. And it's early in the season, folks, so give both teams a chance to gel, find out who's who before we start condemning players.
And a nice little run by the backup quarterback.
And it looks like we have a penalty on the play. That is number 16. I know that quarterback's number is number 16. And we will find his name, Connor Hickey, who doubles as an O-lineman. It triples as an O-lineman, a quarterback, and a tight end.
Versatile.
And number 40 or number 55, Alex Cochrane, he played for the Greyhawks and is upset because he got his helmet knocked off, felt like a little bit of dirty play. It was what got him in his bag. So the Greyhawks just give up more yards after the hands to the face penalty, knocking off Cochrane's helmet. And now Cochrane can just relax because he did his job. His team got a first down.
And they might score.
Well, let's see if the Greyhawks allow him to score here because Connor Hickey, he's gotten a little bit of momentum here. So let's see what happens.
And he's been running the ball, so he might just put it down and run. But
and
he
he's
wants
got
that
a
touchdown.
guy, and the Greyhawks are swarming, looking like they almost made the pick at the 1 yard line.
And they're hitting.
Yeah, well, it's a man's game. And they got that from me. I got that from Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis said, this is a man's game. And when you hear that and you see big hits, you realize it's a man's game.
It's a man's game.
Shout-outs to our Blaze out there because they play a woman's game, and they play big girl football on that side of the spectrum as well.
Shout out to the Mile High Blaze.
Mile High Blaze,
definitely a huge
do their
fan.
thing.
Josh Moldford
is a huge fan of the Mile High Blaze. I look forward to it, as Scott Sledger says, that the Mile High Blaze will do well in their playoffs this year. I just seen a gentleman walking through the stands with a jacket that I almost bought off of Amazon.
Wow.
I'm glad I didn't, as Cameron Hickey is smashed and face-planted by number 56, one of the Smith brothers.
Wow. So, Sean C., you said that number 55 used to play for the Greyhawks.
That's right.
Why do people leave the Greyhawks?
Because it's a dog's world where most players have been with them for all 5 years. It's hard to keep a dynasty alive when you have to bring in new faces. Obviously, guys like myself step away, get into different ventures. There's tons of other players that I cannot name right now that have stepped into different ventures in their life. And so what that does is that means new faces have to come aboard. Well, some guys like competition, some guys don't.
Okay.
The Greyhawks are built on competition. 3rd and 10 on the play. 2 minutes and 9 seconds here.
He really wants this touchdown.
And he airmails it out the back of the end zone. Nobody's home. We got a wide receiver down at the bottom that feels he's got Marcel Tyler on the ropes. Feed him.
Marcel Tyler is holding it down.
He's tall, rangy, and he plays corner.
And I like his swag.
And he's ridiculously fast.
I like his swag.
So when you want to play games with him, you got to need a special talent like number 16 in order to make him work. Fourth and 10 from the 14-yard line, 16-yard line is the Denver Sharks. Still 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Our score still resides 29-0. Greyhawks looking to hold on to their shutout. Their opportunity is still abroad.
Fourth down.
Hickey's back to pass. He's looking for a man. It goes off the wide receiver's hands in the end zone, and that is the game, folks.
That's game. Could have had the catch.
He would have had the catch. Now, it wouldn't have been the one that made the game, but it would have been the catch that saved the game. And you save the game when you don't get blown out and you don't not get points on the board. I'm going to ask that they add me to the Colorado Football Talk tonight.
Add me too.
Because we need to get into just the conversation and see what's going on, what's happening, what's the vibes.
I think it'll be a lot of blame on the coaches.
No, it shouldn't be.
A lot of blame.
It shouldn't be blame on the coaches. The coaches don't play the game.
Exactly, Sean C. We'll see.
When you have grown men, it can't be on the coaches unless the coaches just give you nothing for a game plan. And I mean nothing. Now, the Sharks had opportunities.
Plenty. The biggest thing is you learn from this.
The coach didn't drop that pass in the end zone right there.
Right.
So we got some of the Eagles here in the stands just scouting out, watching their respective opponents. I don't think the Eagles even play the Blaze this year. I mean, play the Colorado Greyhawks this year. So it's just the Sharks that they're watching, wanting to see what's going on and what happened.
So, Sean C., you're telling me, do the Eagles, what about the championship? Is it possible
in
that
the CFC conference, there's 3 teams that you got to be careful of. The North Co Nightmare and the Rage of Pueblo and the Denver Sharks.
Okay.
Now, the Flames, they're going to play good football. What they do this year, unknown. Same thing with the Pirates and the Eagles. What a rocket arm by Roundtree, but he throws it to nobody.
So, Sean C., are the Greyhawks looking for points still? Is that what's happening right now?
Yes, because Ray Roundtree has just entered the game. We've got a new tight end in the game, Casey White. So you want to get guys like them involved.
Okay.
Give them an opportunity to get their bars up.
Okay.
For just a moment.
And once again, we thank you guys for tuning in. ColoradoSports.TV.
Looks like we've got a little bit of extracurricular, but not really. And now the Greyhawks have wisened up and just said, let's run this clock out so we can get out of here in one piece. 1 minute and 30 seconds counting left in this ball game. Tonight's call was a good one. It was brought to you by ColoradoSports.TV. Please tune into the live stream week to week. It will always be listed. And if you follow Sean C. on air as well as Beast Mode 4, you will always be able to find the link and click in, tune in, or to be on ColoradoSports.TV as well. So make sure you follow ColoradoSports.TV on Facebook and on Instagram. We have a timeout on the play by the Colorado Greyhawks. Looks like they're still hungry for more.
Oh.
We spoke too soon when we said we're going to get out of here in one piece, but they want to see more blood. And, folks, I can't believe what I'm getting ready to report here. The Raptors and Bucks have went to 2 overtimes with the score 110 to 112 in the second overtime. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
TNT is getting one heck of a call tonight.
Wow.
Chris Webber and Reggie Miller and Marv Albert doing double duties. And the Greyhawks get a punt off on 4th down, get it to the Sharks, and he's rounded up.
That was a nice catch.
By Devontae Hill. Devontae Hill is still out there balling like, hey, look, coach, you didn't have to play me all night, but I'm still going to get my bars up. 46 seconds left in the 4th quarter. The Sharks still looking for an opportunity to get something out of this game.
Sean C., where do the Sharks go from here?
I kneel the ball and get out of this game. I get to the locker room. We talk about our deficiencies, make sure that everybody's in one piece, and then I say my last piece, go watch yourself on film.
Okay.
Watch yourself on film. And then when you're done watching yourself on film, see, and you do this in a win or a loss, I'm saying this. Go back and look at yourself and your effort level. Look at when the game broke down and what did you do when adversity struck? Did you stand up and put your best efforts forward, or did you say, you know what, I'll let somebody else make the play? Those are the things that check your temperature. Those are the things that championship football teams do. Everybody loves to pass the blame.
Exactly.
So I would start with blaming myself, regardless if I was the head coach or the water boy. I'm blaming myself and telling everybody, let's go watch the film and make sure that we don't let whatever happened to the Greyhawks, we don't let that happen to us in the rest of our season. That's what I'm saying if I'm the Sharks head coach, Sandman. Clearly they have a good team, but I cannot wait to see how the rest of the season unfolds as the other teams in the CFC conference or the Colorado Football Conference are just like them. It's hard to be like the Greyhawks. And what a big-time run by the Sharks. Can't see his number at the second.
That?
But he's ablaze. That boy's fast.
Yeah, that was explosive.
Scotty Good. Number 30. 28 on the run.
Nice explosive run. Ricky Fleury.
Ricky Fleury. I've got Ricky Fleury at running back. So, yes, that is correct by
Nice
mode.
run. What the Sharks need to understand and what I've seen is the Greyhawks, they have it together. They play well together, and they just make it happen. So you have to bring your A game. You can't have mistakes, and you have to play hard.
Absolutely.
So this is just a learning experience.
Talk about it. There you go.
know,
There you go.
We know the internet, the book, everything's going to be lit tonight.
It's going to be litty.
But you got to take that and just grow from it. Give credit where credit's due.
It happens. And he's going deep on the pass, and
there
it's
it
going the
goes.
other way.
And you just called it.
It's going the other way.
Sean C.
Boom, in a fumble. Ball's out. Oh, no.
Yeah,
And
he's
this is
hurt.
what I'm talking about.
Get him out of
Now
there.
you've got one of your best players hurt. Marcel Tyler is pounding turf.
Great pick, but he's hurt. But he runs off. Let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, and it's the thing about semi-pro football, buddy. You're going to take some dings and nicks because injury in football is 100%.
100%.
And so you got to get some ice on it. Like Steve Smith said, ice up, son.
Ice up,
Ice
son.
up. And that's all you can do.
Great pick, though.
Yeah, I mean, all hands.
Yeah.
All hands. And just saying, look, I'm going to put these hamburger helper mitts on this ball and take it the other way. Easy money. And hopefully right here, this is where you see the Greyhawks just go ahead and get the kneel as there's only 29 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. There's nothing else to prove. You've been dominant. You got the shutout.
And a message to all my Sharks, man. Stay together, but get the discipline under control. Everybody be on one accord. You can't have guys taking off your uniform. You can't have it.
It's just something that folks see in the stands, man. And so when you start talking sponsorships, it's hard for a sponsor to come in and want to be a part of a product that isn't fully polished. But that wraps us up here. And final thoughts before we get out of here. Beast Mode, what would you like to say before we go?
I'd like to say follow ColoradoSports.TV. We had a great game today. Sean C., we're in the booth. Denver Sharks, you guys can learn from this. Colorado Greyhawks, just keep elevating.
Well, what I'll say here to finish up tonight is I thought it was a very dominant performance by the Greyhawks. Although they made certain penalties, they still managed to mask them and get through with a shutout and a win. And that's what they're going to need going forward here in the Colorado Football Alliance. And so on behalf of my producer, Scott Sledester, on behalf of my cousin and my color man, Mr. Josh Beast Mode Ford, I'm Sean Boyd here on ColoradoSports.TV, and we'll see you next time.